This is CBS.
Life without choices is like a jukebox with one song. But more choices are always at your fingertips in the New Jersey Bell Yellow Pages. It's got more choices, a lot more, than any other Yellow Pages. No wonder so many of us, 9 out of 10 of us, use it. When it comes to choices, the more the merrier. The genuine New Jersey Bell Yellow Pages, nor the Book and Magic, a Bell Atlantic company.
I am holding something green and powerful, and it's going to change your weekend.
What, lawn clippers?
I'm picking you up at 4 o'clock.
So where are you taking me?
Reservation for the Newtons?
Yes, ma'am. What else have you got planned?
The whole weekend.
Only one card gives you the privileges of membership. The American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
Matlock, Monday at 4 on Channel 2.
I want to fly in business class. My company only pays for coach. So I fly business class for the price of coach. It's called beating the system. Of course, you can't do it on just any airline.
On TWA, when you buy an unrestricted domestic coach ticket, you can reserve a confirmed seat in our business class for the price of coach.
You pay for coach, you sit in business class, and it isn't even your birthday.
TWA's business class. We did it first, we do it better.
Sold out Giant Stadium on a brilliant afternoon. Completely unexpected by most of us. Temperature is supposed to get up to 40 degrees before the game is over as you look in on Mike Ditka's last meeting before it all began. Bill Parcells, the Giant coach, on the other side. Temperature right now just exactly at freezing. The wind northwest 13 miles an hour. The wind chill factor makes it feel like it might be 12 degrees. And the forecast partly sunny.
You know, it's interesting. Every time we talk to Bill Parcells and they play in Giant Stadium, he'd want giant weather. He'd want cold and he'd want snow and blizzard. And he said, you know, with this team that he has, the Giants against the Bears, he said, it's the first time in a big game of my life I can ever remember rooting for good weather. He thinks that this weather today is an advantage to his team.
Well, of course, playing at Soldier Field, Chicago, they're used to the elements. A lot of teams that come in here are not. Johnny Bailey and Dennis Gentry back deep for the Bears. The ball blew off the tee. If it does it again, somebody will come hold it.
I think they'll probably come hold it right now. We see Perry Williams there come running in, and he's going to hold it. Again, you want that held. You want it held gingerly.
Mike Ditka asked if he thought there was a difference. Said, I think they've got better special teams than we do. Dennis Gentry handles the opening kickoff, and they'll bring it out to the 20 where Mike Tomczak. He doesn't like to be called a backup quarterback, and indeed he was a starter at one time. In front of him, that veteran offensive line that's been together so long, Covert, Bortz, Hilgenberg, Thayer, Van Horn, the tight end James Thornton, and look out for him today. The Bears plan to utilize his talents. Anderson and Mustard, the runners. Davis and Morris, the wide receivers. They both go left. Tomczak. The Giants showing that four-man line early. And Tomczak gives to Anderson for no gain, maybe a yard. Mike Fox ever progressing as a defensive player.
Pat, now this has to be the surprise here. You see the 4 defensive line here, then you have a linebacker here, a linebacker here, and a safety up here. So they have 8 men up, 4-man line, the first time they'd used that all year. So the Bears could not have expected this.
The safety up, Greg Jackson. 2nd and 9, 4 down defensive linemen. They're going to have to throw it against this, and Tomczak will. Pass is caught by Wendell Davis, a one-handed snag. Knocked out of bounds by Jackson. 37-yard gain on the play.
And that was the play that the Bears needed. They needed it early. We talked about that. Mike Ditka says he's going to come out passing. Tomczak, we know, needs confidence early. And watch this catch by Wendell Davis. A one-hander. He just goes boom and catches that thing out there. I'll tell you, just watch here. He's just going to come out and run a corner pattern out there. Good pass protection. I think the Giants are in there expecting a run, play and run. Look at the space they have out there. Wendell Davis runs a perfect pattern.
The Bears back quickly, sent Anderson off to the right side for a pickup of 2. Stopped by Carl Banks.
I think that helps. You know, that's one of the things we talked about, the running. We know it's going to be Neil Anderson. We know they're going to mix in Brad Muster. But the thing that really makes the running game go is loosen up that defense. Get them out of that 8-man front so that you can have some room to run.
You're never going to be able to if you don't do that.
I think that pass to Wendell Davis was big in more way than one.
That's Muster in motion. He's a good pass receiver. Here's Lawrence Taylor all over Tomczak. He got rid of it. And the pass is knocked down. Intended for Morris. Everson Walls. Back with Morris.
Everson Walls was all over Morris. Let's watch Lawrence Taylor here. The Bears know if they're going to pass, Mike Ditka says, we got to get Lawrence Taylor blocked. They bring the guard out on him in the first play. He misses him. He made Tomczak dodge him in order to throw that one. Mike Ditka was saying last night, everyone says Lawrence Taylor slowed down. He says, I haven't seen it.
3rd and 8. When you talk about a guy who rises to a different level, it would be Taylor when the time comes. A pass overthrown. Intended for Anderson. The Bears will have to punt. Duerson, the ex-Bear, on the coverage that time.
You know, the one thing the Bears did do is they got good field position. They're punting now from the 45, so the Giants should have to start inside their 20.
Maury Buford, who had a tough time with the wind at Soldier Field last week, back to punt. And Dave Meggett, the NFC leader, is back at the 10 for the Giants. Hangs for Meggett. Signals fair catch. The ball bounces and is down to about the 5 by the Bears. Crosley, I believe, was the tight end who was down. James Coley, I beg your pardon. No score yet.
Ford Ranger's most beautiful feature may be this. Ford Ranger, the best gas mileage of any pickup in America.
The best never ends.
More people are driving the best-built, best-selling American trucks than ever before.
Any ideas?
When it comes to innovative thinking, business is always searching for the better way. But for innovative shipping, they already have the best way.
Super Tracker. It helps tell you where your package is at any moment, anywhere around the world.
That's a great idea.
Federal Express, absolutely, positively the best in the business.
Okay, you ready to go?
Yeah.
You nervous at all?
A little.
You can do it. Ready? Okay, now let's go. Start with the pedals. Keep the wheel steady. That's it. Oh, pedal, pedal, pedal. Good. That's it. That's it. I'm going to let go in a second, so keep the wheel straight. Come on, pedal, 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 pedal. Go. Yes. Go, Kelsey. Woo. You got it, honey.
Ford is #1 in light truck sales, and we're pulling away.
Best never rests.
In fact, our sales lead over Chevy is twice as wide as last year. More people are driving the best-built, best-selling American trucks than ever before.
0-0. The NFC Championship game, playoff game, as Jeff Hostetler makes his first start in the playoffs. Up front of him, Elliott, Roberts, Oates, Moore, Riesenberg, with Mark Bavaro, the tight end. In the backfield, Otis Anderson, the veteran, with Maurice Carthon. Ingram and Baker start wide. Baker's left, Ingram's right. Jeff Hostetler as the Giants start from them 5. The fake is to Anderson. They're going to do the same thing the Bears did. Anderson incomplete. The Bear defense, they both are stingy. Up front, Trace Armstrong and Richard Dent. The ends, William Perry and Dan Hampton. In the middle, the linebackers, Rivera, Singletary, and Morrissey. And the secondary, a good one, Wolford and Jackson, the corners. Mark Carrier and Sean Gale, the 2 safety men. They're the heart of that secondary. Second down, 10 from the 5 for the Giants. Hostetler. And off to Anderson, hit by William Perry right at the line of scrimmage.
Hey, that is running into a wall. You know, looking at William Perry down there, Pat, he looked like he gained 20 pounds since last week. It could just be the white jersey.
Store a lot of food in that freezer.
Well, watch him right there in the middle. He takes on the guard, pushes the whole thing down there, and I'll tell you, once they run into Perry in that middle, that is the end of their run.
I don't think the wind bothers William Perry too much.
He will always have his feet on the ground.
Meggett in the backfield, and Hostetler. Flag on the play. Hostetler out of the end zone for Baker. Overthrown, but a good workout. Penalty marker down way back at the line of scrimmage. Marcus Paul was in the coverage. Offside the Bears. Free play for the Giants.
You know, if Jeff Hostetler knew that was a free play, if he saw the Bears jump, then that's a very, very smart thing to do. If you got a free one, go big.
Defense, number 95, 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down, third down.
That's Richard Dent. Here's what we're talking about right there. Moving before the ball is snapped. You see right there, he gets in that neutral zone. He didn't look like he got very far in that neutral zone. He just
far enough just to be neutral.
Right. He went from a 3-point stance to a 4-point stance.
Here's Hostetler. Out of the shotgun, and down he goes by Trace Armstrong. The guy has really developed this year. Loss of 4.
See, the other guy that was right there is Dan Hampton. Dan Hampton, we know that's playing his last game if the Bears lose. He's going to retire. Trace Armstrong gets in there. He's going to come from the right side of the screen. Hampton's coming straight up the middle late. There's Armstrong, and there's Hampton.
And here's Landetta about 6 yards deep in the end zone to punt it. Driving low spiral to Bailey, who handles it at the Bears 40. And the coverage teams are down in a hurry. Bobby Abrams made the stop. 51-yard punt. Only a 1-yard return.
And Ed James have just entered the room, where they will make an announcement of great importance.
Hello. What you see here is the world's only light wine cooler. New Bartles and James Light. How did you make it?
As you can see, Ed has reduced the calories by 1/3, which he believes gives you even more fresh fruit taste.
That's impossible.
That is exactly what they told Tom Edison, and he did just fine with his light, so please try ours, and thank you for your support.
Did you know it's tough getting business people to agree on what's best? Yet business people do agree. Nobody beats AT&T when it comes to long-distance service. In an independent poll where users rated their carriers, AT&T was unsurpassed in the best technology and best service categories and was voted #1 in overall satisfaction. So now that we've agreed on AT&T, it's back to business as usual. Quality, another AT&T advantage.
The NFC Championship next Sunday on CBS Sports at 3:30 Eastern Time. The 49ers await today's winners. Joe Montana and company have an eye on an unprecedented third consecutive Super Bowl championship. Yesterday against the Redskins, Montana was razor sharp as once again the Niners turned it up a notch or two for the postseason. That's the NFC Championship next Sunday on CBS Sports. Back at Giant Stadium, Tom Zach looks at a Giant four-man front on defense. Outside, picked off by Mark Collins. Intended for Dennis Gentry, bounced out of his hands, and Collins got the rebound.
The Bears had great field position here. Dennis Gentry is a big play guy for him. This time Gentry gives up the big play. Goes into his hands, hits his shoulder pad, bounces up in the air, and Mark Collins is right there.
Dragged down by Gentry. Hampton in the game as the running back now instead of Anderson. Now he goes in motion. Hostetler sprints right. Screens left to Bavaro. Bavaro out of bounds inside the Bear 30. Knocked out by Bestie Jackson after a gain of 5.
This is an interesting thing here, Pat. Bavaro's here. He's going to sneak across there. But Hostetler sells it by sprinting this way and then throwing back across the grain. See, now Hostetler will come out here on what we call a sprint out right, and you see Bavaro drop down. He goes back across the grain to the left. When he fell down, the Bear defense lost him.
2nd and 5. Rodney Hampton, their #1 draft choice, was the deep back. And it is he who gets the carry for very little, maybe a yard, maybe none.
Yeah, it was interesting. Bill Parcells was saying the other day that he has 2 running backs, O.J. Anderson, who won't lose the game for you, and Rodney Hampton, who can win it. So who do you play? So what he wants to do is play both. Play Hampton when you're in the middle of the field, where you have a position to come up with a big play, and when you're in short yardage, goal line, inside the 20, those things, play O.J. Anderson. Then on 3rd down, of course, play this guy, Dave Meggett.
Ever dangerous coming out of the backfield. Hostetler from the shotgun. Snap promotes is good. Bears in a blitz, and Hostetler had to unload.
That's the thing that they do against Meggett now. When they get him in there, the way to keep him in is to blitz his side. Watch Meggett. He's over here on the right, number 30. They blitz. Ron Rivera comes on a blitz, makes him block. Then they blitz from the other side. So Meggett, 1, he's a little guy who you make block, but 2, you keep him in the backfield. You don't let him get out on a release.
Barr will try from 46 yards away to put the Giants ahead. Long for him, but this one's plenty far enough. Ain't good. And the Giants break on top. They lead 3-0 in the first quarter.
Wherever you do business, the future is approaching at breakneck speed. and the road your business travels is constantly changing. But you can take advantage of change with the world's most comprehensive computing and communication services from EDS. EDS can help you be more competitive by focusing technology on business goals, by creating ways to improve quality and save time, by making everything work together. We can even help you manage it. You can't control change, but you can take advantage of change with EDS.
When it was first introduced, Ford Taurus became a tremendous success. Naturally, this made Taurus a target for the competition. But while they've been taking aim, we've been making Taurus even better, with improvements in ride, handling, and performance, and safety advances like a driver's airbag and anti-lock brakes. Because everybody knows it's much harder to hit a moving target.
Have you driven a Ford lately?
In the tropics, there are two kinds of heat, love and danger. Sweating Bullets premieres Monday, January 21st on CBS Late Night. It's too hot to sleep.
3-0 Giants, and this is what set it up right here. Tomczak to Gentry. Bounced off Dennis into the hands of Collins. And here's Barr's 46-yard field goal that grazed the inside of the upright and went through good. And now he's ready to kick off in the direction of Johnny Bailey and Dennis Gentry. It's going to be Bailey. With room. And Bailey all the way outside the 40 to about the 47-yard line. Perry Williams finally tripped him up after a 43-yard return.
I tell you, there were some good blocks on that too, Pat, and they're going to occur right about between the 20 and the 30, right there, right there, right there, right there, and those were the blocks that got Bailey out to darn near midfield.
Rouse got an excellent block on Renee Thompson.
There was a real collision down there.
Tomczak, who likes to change the plays at the line of scrimmage, just did. To Anderson. Neil Anderson near midfield. A pickup of 4. First 2 possessions for the Bears. They started at their own 20. Wound up having to punt. One pass accounted for 37 yards of that 40 in that drive, if you can call it that. Tomczak back to throw. He's got Ron Morris. Morris inside the Giant 30 to about the 25, stopped by Guyton.
Here's the thing, the Giants are still using that 4-man line. That's a little play pass. They want them to play against that run, to stay up in there tight. So the Giants are up in there tight, and their receivers like Ron Morris can get in there behind them.
Morris stuck with it. 1st and 10 Bear. Morris split wide to the right. Ball's on the 25. Giants lead 3-0. That's Mustard. Anderson, beg your pardon. Stopped by Fox after he got 2 yards.
You know, the interesting thing is that Mike Fox, the rookie, started in there along with John Washington, and the normal starting defensive left end, Eric Dorsey, isn't part of this, and he's pretty good against the run. You can see that in that 4-man line, it's Marshall and it's Howard, John Washington, and the rookie Mike Fox, number 93.
Muster in front of Anderson. 2nd and 9 at the 24. That's Anderson. Down to the 21, he might have gotten 3. Make 4. Washington and Howard combined to make the tackle.
Now that Mike Ditka by now knows that the Giants are playing him in a defense that the Giants haven't played all year. So he has to change his thinking. He has to change. Now you can see Washington and Fox going out. So now, of course, they're going into their 3rd down defense. But his run play calling has to be versus a 4-man line instead of a 3-man line.
And now they go with 3 wide receivers and Dennis Gentry. It's Kozlowski in motion. Out of the shotgun, it was Anderson. Flag on the play. Anderson cut down by Taylor.
I'll tell you, they all say that great players make big plays in big games. When you get them down there and the Bears are driving on you and you need a big play and Lawrence Taylor comes through and comes up with a big play and knocks them for a 7-yard loss on a 3rd down, that's play.
Illegal motion on the offense, 2 moving at the same time. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
You watch this. We'll see Lawrence Taylor lines up all over. This time he's lining up right in the middle. Watch him come straight up the middle, get the penetration there. They can't get him, and he makes the tackle for the 7-yard loss.
He's just too quick. Good players have to play well in big games. That's what they said all day yesterday. 4th down, the Bears not trying for the field goal. Tomczak back to fire. Outside to Anderson, well short of the 1st down, stopped by Greg Jackson. And the Giants take over, leading 3-0 in the 1st quarter. 5 minutes, 42 seconds left to play in the 1st at Giants Stadium. And the Giants, on a 46-yard field goal by Barr, lead it 3-0, and they've just taken over on downs.
When you rent from Hertz in Florida, you get more than a great car at a great rate. The real bargain is the company behind the car. Because whatever it takes to make your vacation go smoothly, Hertz is there to make it happen. From emergency road service that's as close as a phone to free unlimited mileage, wherever you roam. Next time you're in Florida, wouldn't you feel better with Hertz behind you?
Hertz, we're America's wheels.
Yeah, I sure can. We have just about hourly flights here. 6th of October, United flight number 725.
Sure, I'd be happy. I'll help you with that. And your flight number?
Arriving in Tokyo at 5:10 p.m.
Both animals are also confirmed.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling.
Business class.
But I figure
In a world fraught with phone frustration, people who fly come to learn of a singular exception, where wishes are granted with efficiency and grace.
Delafria Stokowitsky? Is that with an I or a Y?
United Airlines. Come fly the friendly skies.
Get away from it all in the new Explorer from Ford. If you're looking for 4 doors and more interior room than any vehicle in its class, if you want 4-liter power and push-button 4-wheel drive in the best-selling vehicle in its class, if the only thing you want to leave behind is the city, your Explorer is ready.
Have you driven a Ford lately?
The 7th annual All-Madden team coming up Saturday at 9 o'clock. You've moved into prime time.
Yeah, I know it. And right now we're still working on the team. No computers this year. The whole team, we got them mixed up. They're up in a blimp now.
I got a hunch some of these players will be included. Hostetler just does get rid of it. And Bavaro makes the catch as the Bears were all over Jeff Hostetler.
I'll tell you, Richard Dent, watch Richard Dent, number 95. He takes an inside move on Jumbo Elliott. Elliott didn't even go to block him. Either Elliott was looking for someone coming from outside, or Dent went by him so quickly he didn't even see him.
That's what it looks like.
Watch him in the inside. He just splits the guard and the tackle. No one even touches Dent.
2nd and 1. It's Hampton and Carthon, the 2 running backs. And that's Maurice Carthon, 1st down Giants. He picked up 6. Members of the Giant defensive unit over on the sideline.
Well, of course, they're talking about that four-man line they're using and getting the safety up there. They're really doing what the defense is meant to do, is to stop the run. Now you look on the other side, the offensive line is over there, and they've been talking about this defense that really they haven't practiced against all week.
Now the Bears put a lot of people up on the line. 8-3 this was. Hostetler's throw is wild high, intended for Bavaro.
Yeah, that's why you have to throw on first down, Pat. It's just like you said, that what they do is they're playing the run so strong, they put 8 men up here. You see right in here in the box, they put 8 men. Now, that's ganging up in the run. See, they only have 3 guys playing the pass. Now, if they do that to you, they're really forcing you. They're daring you to run, and they're just forcing you to throw the ball.
Brings up 2nd and 10 from the 39. Giants leading 3-0. Megan is on the left side behind Hostetler, and he fires complete to Baker. Baker out of bounds at the Bear 36. S.D. Jackson wrestled with him, but a gain of 25, a Giant first down.
Hey, if S.D. Jackson looked like he was looking in the backfield or something, good pass protection here, gives Hostetler time. Baker runs it out. Jackson is about 8 yards away from him. I mean, Jackson was really playing inside of him, and if he does that, Baker's going to run outs on him all day. Then at the end, it looks like Vesti even gets a little face mask in there.
And gets away with it. 1st and 10 Giants at the Bears 36. 3:45 left to play in the first quarter. Hostetler chased by William Perry for a moment. Gets it to, that's Anderson. Inside the 30. Sean Gale made the stop after a pickup of 7.
You know, that's the thing that the Bears were worried about yesterday, Pat, and talking to all the Bear defensive linemen, that Hostetler does move. He not only moves on rollouts and bootlegs, but he also scrambles here. Watch this. This is a play fake. He fakes in here. Now when the pass protection breaks down, he moves a little more. O.J. Anderson will see he just moves with him. He's just mirroring Hostetler. And then, boom, he's able to hit him for about a 6-7 yard gain.
2nd and 4. Ingram, the man on the move this time. And off to Carthon. Hit once behind the line. And then nudges this way. Stopped by Armstrong and Perry.
I think one thing, the Giants, because of that 8-man front, you'll see they don't want to run on first down. Look at the Giants down here. They have rush 0, pass 5 times on first down, because that's the down that the Bears are ganging up on the run.
Veteran Dan Hampton playing perhaps his last game.
He doesn't want to hear that. He wants to play one today, he wants to play one next week, then he wants to play one the following week.
Taking a lot of deep breaths. This is Anderson. Bounces away momentarily. It's close to a first down, maybe, maybe not.
I'll tell you, when you run inside against the fridge, you aren't going to get a lot of first down.
There's not a lot of give in there.
No, because most of the bounces go backwards. There aren't many bounces when you run into 72 that go forward. They go backwards or sideways, or they'll go upside down. Look at 72 back there. I mean, that's hard. How do you run? How do you like to go up to the line and say, okay, let's run in there. You got to block 72. You'd say, hey, coach, let's try something else, huh?
The referee can't even see where to put the the yard marker.
I told you they bounce back. That's the difference in the bounce. Bill Parcells goes for more first downs on fourth downs than any coach I know.
Especially here. 4th and about a foot and a half.
I'll tell you, I wouldn't run it at the fridge. I mean, I would kind of try and get it off tackle or someplace else, because I don't care. You know, I mean, they say he's big and all this, but you don't move that guy.
He moves wherever he wants to move.
and he moves you where he wants to move you.
They're at the 26. Roscoe is the man in motion, and Hostetler comes out of there. It's the pass to Bob Roscoe, first down, Giants. Picked up 6. Sean Gale knocked him out of bounds.
You know, that's a gutsy call by Bill Parcells because you don't get another one. That's 4th down. You know, and I think you wonder, do you have confidence in Hostetler? I think Bill Parcells right here showed that he had confidence in Jeff Hostetler. I think he had confidence in Roscoe, too.
Yeah.
I mean, you call a play where your backup quarterback who's starting has to throw it to your 3rd tight end. That takes a whole bunch of guts.
That's the drive so far. Every pass they've thrown, except that one's been on first down. This one is another one. For Baker, touchdown. This was one heck of a throw by Hostetler.
If they're going to get a big play in the passing game, it's going to be to Stephen Baker. Of course, we know his nickname is Touchdown Maker, but he is the guy who can really get open. It was a heck of a throw by Hostetler, but did Stephen Baker make a move on that corner move? He ran what we call a corner pattern. He's going to start in, then go back out. Watch Hostetler make that throw. I think they're reviewing it, Pat, right now. There's 1 foot, 2. He had both inbounds. Now we look at it from that angle. Still has 2 feet inbounds. But the move to get in that position by Stephen Baker was a heck of a move.
That shouldn't take too long, this review.
After further review, play stands as called. Touchdown.
Barr will try the extra point with 1 minute and 4 seconds left to play in the first quarter. This would make it 10-0 Giants. The touchdown maker, Stephen Baker, just put another notch in the gun from Hostetler. Good throw, good pattern, good catch.
Okay, and a good call by Bill Parcells there. The thing that made it possible, you have to remember, they got that 4th down situation. And it takes a lot of guts to go for it on 4th down, especially in a playoff game. And then to go for it on 4th down and have your quarterback throw it to a guy named Morosco, that takes a whole bunch of them.
As they continue to throw on first down when that occasion arises. 10-0 Giants. The winner to play the San Francisco 49ers next week at Candlestick Park in San Francisco. That's a scoring drive and a good one.
Great corner move by Baker and a big call by Bill Parcells going for it on 4th down.
Johnny Bailey from the 3. Last kickoff return was a good one. David Whitmore. Buffalo over Miami in the snow, 44-34. Game that was much closer earlier. And the 49ers with Montana back on target, as you would expect, eliminated the Redskins.
The other thing in this game, Pat, is the Giants have really changed up. They've changed up on defense. They've passed every first down. Now the Bears, conversely, have run on every first down.
Tom Zach up under the center, and again they run on first down, and it doesn't work again. Anderson stopped by Eric Howard.
I think the Giants came in with a heck of a game plan to throw the Bears off. And, of course, you have to remember now, the Giants had 2 weeks. They didn't play last week. The Bears had to play last week, so they really had an extra week to rest and to get ready.
Don't you think also, John, it makes some difference the fact that they don't play each other a lot? First time in the regular season since '87.
Yeah, and that's probably why a change works better than it would if you were really familiar.
To Muster from Tomczak. Greg Jackson out there with it.
Yeah, I can feel this Giant defense. You know, towards the end of the season, they got a little vulnerable, but they are sure fired up in this first quarter.
And that's the end of the first quarter with the score, the Giants 10, the Bears nothing.
Stop the presses! St. John's ranked 10, Redmond red hot, Yukon ranked 9. Whoa, boy! It's Big Eat, Big Bash, Big Fun today!
Daddy, can I have my teddy bear?
Sure, honey. If you take good care of him, he'll take good care of you. Just like when I was growing up, I had an old football that went everywhere with me. I'm Darryl Green of the Washington Redskins, and this is my daughter, Jarrell. I know that every child needs love, a sense of security, especially children who have emotional and physical handicaps. That's why the work of the School for Contemporary Education is so important. Here, children from the National Capital Area are getting the love and special education they so desperately need. These are children who need special education outside of the regular school setting. As a United Way volunteer, I work with children of all ages to help them learn, to teach them to love one another. When we give our love to them, that love comes back many-fold in many ways. Because the United Way, it brings out the best in all of us.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football Conference Divisional Playoff game is sponsored by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? Interstate Batteries with over 180,000 dealers across the U.S. and Canada. And by Federal Express for documents, packages, and freight worldwide. Absolutely positively the best in the business.
A brilliant day at Giants Stadium in the Meadowlands. The Bears-Giants divisional playoff game for two teams who like to run it. The first quarter didn't look that way. The Bears got 4 yards on the ground. The Giants got 8. Second down, I beg your pardon, and 10. Third down this is. Incomplete. Wendell Davis, the intended receiver. That brings up 4. Perry Williams, the defender.
You know, when you have these backup quarterbacks playing like Jeff Hostetler and they have some success, they throw a touchdown, and you see pictures of them, they just look like different guys. You can just see their confidence building.
Buford back. Meggett back.
Talking about dangerous guys, Stephen Baker being one of them. David Meggett is another one on this Giant team. That's one of the reasons Bill Parcells wanted nicer weather for those two guys.
Good kick by Buford. Meggett will handle at his own 30. Knocked out of bounds by the Bears' Maurice Douglas. 50-yard kick by Buford. 13-yard return by Meggett. 10-0 Giants as we open the second quarter.
Interstate Battery Power starts up strong and keeps on going. To find an Interstate Battery dealer near you,
Call 1-800-CRANK-IT. Get the power that goes on and on and on, yeah.
The product. The proving grounds. The results.
STP gas treatment is the edge.
What makes the Honda Accord so different? Honda's advanced technology. In fact, one of the most amazing attributes of the Accord is its ability to transport you into the future. Really, just get in and bingo, the future. Now, can your car do that?
$10-0 in the opening minute of quarter number 2, and both teams have made some very radical changes from what they've done to get here so far.
Yeah, I like what the Giants have done. I mean, you know, there was all the talk it was going to be a running game. The Giants so far have played a 4-man line. They haven't done it all year. I think that's confused the Bears, and they have thrown so far in every first down.
And here's one coming. Giants operate from their own 43-yard line. Hampton got about 3. Stopped by the other Hampton and Mike Singletary. That would be Dan Hampton. Cold, but not cold for this time of year. And a bright day at Giant Stadium in the Jersey Meadowlands.
You know, I think Mark Bavaro had to block Dan Hampton on that play because after the play they were both talking. You know, there was rumors or talks in the papers in New York this week that Mark Bavaro may retire after this season. Of course, we know that Dan Hampton is going to retire.
2nd and 7. Hostetler back to throw, hitting the ball knocked loose. Looked like the Bears came up with it, and they did.
Big play by Steve McMichael. McMichael just got a push, and he just exploded right through his blocker, right into and right through Hostetler, and knocked the ball out.
And Hampton came up with it.
I'll tell you, watch right there. You're going to see McMichael. He's going to come right there and explode. You see him right through his blocker and right through Hostetler. William Roberts was blocking against McMichael, and he threw the whole batch of them into the quarterback.
1st and 10, Bears at the Giant 38. Those turnovers again. Muster to about the 30. Gain of 3, stopped by Leonard Marshall.
I think one thing that the Bears could probably steal a page from the Giants here and start throwing some passes on 1st down. You know, don't wait for that 3rd down or that long yardage to be passing. There you can see a shot of the Giant 4-man line. Again, the first time they've used that all year.
2nd down at 7. Tomczak back to throw, chased. Fires, picked off almost by Mark Collins as the Bears' intended receiver slipped down. I think it was Morris. No, Wendell Davis.
Yeah, Wendell Davis was down there. He was down there about the 5-yard line. You see him, number 82. He's down in the ground already. But it looked like he tried to slow up or stop to come back for the ball. Mark Collins had control and everything. You see the expression when you know you have one and you just don't get it.
So it brings up 3rd and 7. Tomczak 4 out of 9. Davis right, Morris left. With Kozlowski. And Gentry on the inside of him. Tomczak back to throw it, gets it outside to Neil Anderson, a Bear 1st down. Renee Thompson made the stop.
That is the type of thing that Neil Anderson, you know, you talk about stopping Neil Anderson. It's not only as a runner, but it's also as a pass receiver. You see here, he gets the ball, turns it upfield, and that's a good tackle by Renee Thompson. Renee Thompson, of course, one of the best special teamers in the league. Neil Anderson, one of the best running backs in all of football.
In every facet of the game. 1st and 10 at the 27 for the Bears. Giants lead 10-0. Here's Muster. Stopped by Eric Howard after a gain of 3.
Yeah, I think this is where the Bears have to start mixing up some. We look at today, they have on first down last week, they ran 21, passed 6. Today, they have run 7 times and only passed 1. That's where I think they have to get some of their mixture in.
2nd and 7 at the Giant 24. Giants leading 10-0. Thornton moves over to the right side. Tomczak fake to Anderson. Pass caught by Thornton. At about the 6, a pickup of 18 yards. Myron Guyton was the Giant defender.
Mike Ditka told us last night Thornton had to have a big game. He said because the Giants like to just leave a linebacker on the tight end a lot. Here it's a safety on him, but Thornton still beats him. Good throw by Tomczak. He threw it. If anyone was going to catch it, the only guy that could catch it was Thornton.
1st and goal. The ball's at the 6. Muster and Anderson behind Tomczak. Neil Anderson for a couple. Stopped by Eric Howard again.
I tell you see Greg Jackson, the safety, up there too. The Giant defense is really ganging up on that first down run. And the way to help that, of course, is you got the 4 linemen, you have your 3 linebackers, and then you get your safety up there. But you see all those guys up in there, everyone is up in there to stop the run. You see 47, boom, he's just hitting it right now. They don't look like they're worrying about passing down there.
2nd and goal at the 4. Anderson split wide left this time. Muster to the lone back. Tomczak intended for Muster, who was open, but over his head. The Bears have only gotten 12 yards and 10 rushes.
Yeah, you're right. I think at first he was looking for Neil Anderson, who was split out all the way to the left, like you said. And then Pepper Johnson gets in his face, and he has to come back, and he dumps it off to Muster. But watch Pepper Johnson, 52 there. See, he makes him throw a bad one there. Because had he thrown it shorter or seen Muster, that would have been a touchdown.
Ex-Ohio State teammates, Tomczak and Pepper Johnson. 3rd and goal at the 4. Ditka looked on. Tomczak to Muster. Close, but not quite.
Now this is going to be really interesting for Mike Ditka. Half the Bear players are out on the sideline. What do you do now? You're down 10-0. You're in the playoffs. I think you have to kick the field goal.
I think so too.
I think you have to get on the board. That doesn't mean that that's what he's going to think, though.
4th and goal at the 1, and it really is a little bit closer than that. About the 1-foot line.
Mike Ditka's decided to go for it. I'll tell you, this is football. This is championship football. You can play in the middle of the field. You know, that's for show. This is for dough down here. This is what it's all about.
And the Bears use a timeout. 10-0 Giants.
They're all guts, all glory. They're the all-Madden team.
There are a lot of ways to improve your overseas relationships.
Howdy. I know where I'm going. I'm glad the company sent me here to bail you fellas out.
Some work better than others.
You know, there's nothing like combining American dynamism and know-how with French, abruti? Abruti. Say, abruti.
But the best way is simply using the overseas shipping Federal Express.
Tomorrow we hit the beach.
Absolutely, positively, the best in the business.
Around here, a new house may have been built in 1750. And just off Route 140, near Grafton, Massachusetts, you'll see land that's been in the family for 7 generations. There are over 4 million miles of roads in Alamo territory, all across America. And every day, with every car nationwide, only Alamo gives you all those miles for free. including 22 miles of road in a place they've been calling New England for more than 300 years.
I am holding something green and powerful, and it's going to change your weekend.
What, lawn clippers?
I'm picking you up at 4 o'clock.
So where are you taking me?
Reservation for the Newtons?
Yes, ma'am. What else have you got planned?
The whole weekend.
Only one card gives you the privileges of membership. The American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
NFC divisional playoff. The Giants lead at 10-0, but the Bears are at the door inside the 1. 4th down, and they're headed for it.
This could be the whole game here, Pat. I think if the Bears don't make it here, it could be a long day for them. If they do, we got a heck of a ball game.
Anderson and Muster behind Tomczak. Coley in motion. They're moving. John Washington was the first man to hit him. Muster the ball carrier, and he just got stuffed. One they'll think about for a while.
Yep, they went to the well. I don't know that you challenge the defense at home. I've always been a firm believer you get the score on the board. Watch number 73 here. He gets penetration. He's up. Muster doesn't have a chance. Pepper Johnson hit him so hard he knocked his helmet right off his head. And then he kept playing. Did you see that? You see Pepper there? Number 52, boom, he gets hit. The helmet goes flying off, and he jumps on top of the tackle.
Anderson and Carthon, the running backs. That's Carthon in motion, and notice Anderson breaks out of there to about the 7. Sean Gale tripped him up. A gain of 5.
Here's the way, after you make a call to go for it on 4th down, these are the feelings you have. You try and help that thing in there, but he could tell from the minute that play started it didn't have a chance.
It never did. 2nd down.
There's a guy. Pepper still doesn't have his hat on. That's all that's left is a piece of cloth. He hit him so hard he knocked everything off except that little piece of cloth.
And the helmet disintegrated. 2nd down. And the Bears answer this time. McMichael hits Maurice Carthon along with Richard Dent.
Yeah, this is the one that, you know, when you talk about playoff or plays that get you to the championship, this may be the play that the Giants remember. That this is the play. This could be the play that took them to the championship game. Watch Pepper there. When the hat goes off, he still wants to get a headbutt in there. He not only jumped on the pile, but I like he led with his head.
On 3rd down, Anderson stopped in the backfield by Richard Dent. The Giants will have to punt, and the Bears should come up with reasonably good field position again.
Richard Dent signaled in the special teams, okay, come on in, special teams, do your job, and then offense, you get in here because you're going to get the ball back again with pretty good field position.
Richard's doing more and more coaching.
Remember the last time Sean Landeta was back in this position against Chicago?
In Soldier Field. The wind was really blowing that day, and it was cold, and he missed the ball. Not one of his best. Bailey signals fair catch at the 35, a 29-yard punt.
Yeah, that is not one, as you say, that's when he has plenty of room to let it all out, and he didn't get it all out.
10-0 Giants.
If every dog in the world were a puppy, all we'd make is puppy chow, with extra nutrition for healthy growth. But they're not. That's why we make Puppy Chow, Dog Chow, Fit and Trim, and Purina High Pro. Pet tested, veterinarian recommended.
From the site of the 1992 Olympic Women's Downhill, Women's World Cup Skiing, plus ski jumping, Olympic Winterfest countdown to Albertville next Saturday.
It's the kind of hitting game we expected. Here the Bears are at the goal line going for it on 4th and 1. Let's listen. Helmets flying along with bodies.
That is football. The only thing is you expected, you would have expected Brad Muster to be leading Neil Anderson instead of Anderson leading Brad Muster.
Tomczak back to throw, gets it across the middle to Muster, and Muster down at about the 16.
Yeah, I bet right now you don't second guess yourself as a coach, or you try not to, but I bet right now Mike Ditka's saying, geez, it would have been nice to have the field goal. Now, I don't know if he'd have the same field position, but just think he would have had the field goal, would have been 10-3. Now, boom, you're right back there. You're going for another shot to tie the score.
First down, Bears at the Giant 15. Giants leading at the moment 10-0. It's Anderson on the move. Tomczak back to throw. Here comes the blitz. They get it out to Muster, who can't hold on.
I think that every time the Bears put a drive together, it's not all Neil Anderson, it's not the wide receivers, but in a drive, in a long drive, there's going to be some Brad Muster and some James Thornton in that drive.
Sometimes they lull you to sleep, those two guys. You don't think of them as part of the offense. You think Neil Anderson, and they run it. And indeed, he is a great back. But those two are the added ingredients. Here comes the blitz again. Intended for Anderson. The heat was on Tomczak, incomplete.
Well, they tried to get that quick up to Neil Anderson. He is a back most of the time, of course, but that time he lined up as a wide receiver. He was spread out wide. Now, the thing that does is Anderson is a good receiver, but when you put him out here, that puts the Giants' best defender, Mark Collins, on him. I would rather leave an Anderson, let him come out of the backfield or someplace where he doesn't draw coverage by a cornerback.
Third down at the 15. Tomczak back to throw, under pressure again, gets it incomplete. Intended for Thornton coming across. He just didn't have time, and this time the Bears will try for the field goal.
I'll tell you, I like the way this Giant defense is playing, though. I mean, they are really coming. They're not giving Tomczak any lanes to throw in. I mean, that was a bad throw. He threw it high, he threw it behind him, but they're pressuring him all day. They're pressuring him, they're hitting him, they're knocking him around, they're always on him.
Here's Kevin Butler from 33 yards out with Tomczak holding. Butler with plenty of room on that one. Gets the Bears on the scoreboard. And with 6:17 left to play in the first half at Giant Stadium, it's 10-3 Giants.
Whenever my brother Tom and his friends had to decide what game to watch on TV, it was a toss-up.
Heads or tails? Heads.
Then Tom got smart.
Very smart!
He got this Magnavox TV with a built-in smart window, so Killer could watch football on the main screen.
Without getting mad when Stork and I check out basketball on the smart window.
You might say Magnavox saved your friendship, Tom.
You could actually say it saved my life.
Magnavox. Smart choice. Very smart.
Because there's a man planning his retirement. Because there's a family hoping to send their kids to college. Because every investor is different, with dreams all their own. Dean Witter measures success one investor at a time.
I know you've heard 100 pitches about drugs. Well, make it 101, because here's mine. The reason over 25 million Americans have tried crack and cocaine is because the high can be powerful and exciting. It's also frightening. In fact, it's like a 95-mile-an-hour fastball right between the eyes. Real professionals maintain control even when others are getting wild. The next time somebody pitches drugs to you, make the right play. Walk away. Just walk away.
We're in a must-win situation, and we're all in it together.
Giant Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey. Second quarter with 6:17 left, and the Giants leading the Bears 10-3. Pat Summerall here with John Madden. Bill Parcells talking to some of his secondary members. Butler to kick it off, and he's come under criticism this year for being short on kickoffs. This one's not. Meggett will stay in the end zone, and the Giants will operate from their 20. They lead 10-0.
Well, the last time the Giants had the ball, the Bear defense played outstandingly down here. They stopped them. They got the ball back, and then that turned into 3 points. And now I'm sure they have to, you know, that's what they're thinking. They have to do it again. There's a Bear offensive line, and we see Jay Hilgenberg, 63. They're looking at the shots, the still photography, the still photos of the defenses. And they're looking to see what that four-man line looks like and what they can do against it.
First and 10 Giants, their own 20-yard line. Anderson the lone setback. Hostetler back to throw, chased out of the pocket by Dent. Hostetler with room to run. Scramble for 12 and a first down. Morrissey tripped him up.
I'll tell you, does Jumbo Elliott, the left tackle, love Hostetler for that play? Because what happens, here's Jumbo, here's Dent, he comes in here, boom. Hostetler, now when he takes the inside, Hostetler just gets outside of him. So that's going to tame Dent down. You see Dent take the inside 95, and then Jumbo's just able to push him. Now when he does that, look at how it opens it up for Jeff Hostetler. Now, if he takes advantage of that, then Dent is thinking about that the rest of the game. I can't take the inside.
Dent in the middle this time. And Anderson goes where Dent left from. Ron Rivera finally made the stop. There's Rodney Hampton.
And the early report is, Pat, that he has a fractured fibula. And, of course, he was the guy that, you know, was going to play such a big part in this game of spelling O.J. Anderson.
Well, if that's true, and now it's been confirmed, obviously he won't be back.
You know, and O.J. Anderson was telling us yesterday how proud he was of Rodney Hampton, and he said that he was doing things, running the football that O.J. could just remember doing. He said it kind of brought a smile to his face watching Rodney and remember when he was young and able to do those things.
But he's still talking about next year and another 1,000-yard season. He's not ready to say goodbye yet.
No, he's gained over 10,000 yards, O.J. Anderson has, and he's talking about a goal of, well, if you get 10,000, I'd like to go for 11,000.
And who knows? First and 10. This is Anderson again. And again, he got good yardage. John Gale made the tackle. He got 9.
Yeah, this has been a good matchup here. Richard Dent, one of the best pass rushers, defensive ends in the league, against Jumbo Elliott. Watch it here. 95 is Dent. Elliott, of course, is the left tackle there. Watch him. He fires into him, turns Dent to the outside, and then puts him on his back. That is run blocking. That's what, you know, the old line coaches, you call that drive blocking, man. They got to be able to drive block.
Anderson again, Giant first down. Sean Gale and Singletary made the stop, but Anderson got 9 more.
And I'll tell you, they're getting on that side of the line behind John Elliott and William Roberts. They're getting good blocking in there. You know, they have some help from the tight end, Bob Roscoe, who caught that big 4th down pass. But the Giant line now is controlling the line of scrimmage.
1st and 10. The last 4 plays for the Giants have been runs, and they've gotten 39 yards. Most of it, all of it, in fact, by Anderson. Well, I'll take that back. There was one scramble by Hostetler. Anderson left side again, and again yardage. Stopped by Singletary, but he got 4.
Oh, and Richard Dent's getting frustrated. He and Jumbo Elliott are going after it after the play.
I'll meet you right here.
Yeah, he's saying right here. Of course, he remembers that drive block that we showed earlier where Elliott took him and put him on his back. And I tell you, if you're a defensive lineman, that's one place that you don't ever want to end up. You never want the back of your uniform dirty.
Anderson again. And again, O.J. with a push over the right side this time. Stopped by Steve McMichael. 4-yard pickup.
I'll tell you, look right here. Here's how these things end. We watch matchups, and you see a defensive guy win. You see an offensive guy win. And the play isn't over until it's over. And they both got a hold of each other's face mask there. That looks like the WWF. You know, I heard a new word that I'd never heard before that Dan Hampton used, saying what kind of football this is going to be. He called it slobber knocker. And I think that's what it is. I think we just saw a shot of slobber knockering.
I like that better than smash mouth, don't you?
I hate smash mouth.
10-3 Giants.
Presenting the Honda Prelude SI with anti-lock brakes. Never get behind a camera without one.
They thought of everything, but the unthinkable.
She's designed to be deployed in hostile countries.
They controlled everything, but the inconceivable.
When we find her, how do we switch her off?
It's not as simple as that.
We've got to be right about New York. Stay down! A lot of innocent people are going to die.
Only one man can stop the Eve of Destruction. Gregory Hines. Eve of Destruction. Rated R. Starts Friday, January 18th at theaters everywhere.
Back here at Giant Stadium, running back Rodney Hampton spent the last 10 minutes in the locker room where his left foot was x-rayed and retaped. He said he was hit from behind. It's a slight fracture, and he may not play again. Pat?
Thank you, Leslie. The Bears have 2 timeouts left. The Giants 3. 2 minutes to go in the first half with the Giants leading 10-3.
Look at Lawrence Taylor down there. He was looking at something. He was intense. Well, he was trying to get into that picture like he was trying to stick a helmet on it or something.
Anderson really hammered by Richard Dent. There's a guy you don't want to get too excited.
I'll tell you, that's exactly right. I mean, Jumbo Elliott got the best of him that one play. Here's Richard Dent. He's standing up on that play. he takes another inside, and when he puts you, he's going to put a slobber knocker on you, I'll guarantee you.
4th down, and it looks like the Giants are going for it. Now they call a timeout to think it over.
Well, you know, I think probably if they don't go for it, Pat, they would have to kick into the wind, which is just about impossible here.
So a timeout with 1:38 left to play in the first half. Giants 10-3. Giants lead the Bears. Second quarter we're in. Lawrence Taylor now doing a little meditating and studying and remembering 4th down. A fake to Anderson. Hostetler on the rollout with room. First down. Hostetler down to about the 23. Pickup of 10. He gives you an added dimension, doesn't he?
I tell you, he does, and that's the second time on 4th down that the Giants have gone for it. Both times they put it in Hostetler's hands. This time he has an option, run or pass. He just runs all the way because he knows he has the first down. The other time, or the first time, he ran on a sprint out and he hit Bob Morosco, with a first down.
Giants haven't thrown a pass this quarter. They've been able to move it on the ground. Anderson inside the 20. Stopped, tripped up by Hampton. A gain of 3.
You know, the other thing, Pat, is they know this stadium. The first quarter, they were going with the wind. So they used it then. The second quarter, they've been going against the wind.
Giant timeout. They have one left.
I didn't want to be the first. But when I heard how many other guys had already tried Rogaine, I did too. Now I have only one regret. I just wish I'd tried Rogaine sooner.
For more information about Rogaine with minoxidil, see your doctor or call this number.
If you're wondering whether Rogaine is for you, call this number, and we'll give you an incentive to find out. A certificate worth $10 toward a consultation visit with your doctor. Call 1-800-556-4800.
In the Meadowlands Giants Stadium. Always sold out when the Giants are here. They have one timeout remaining. The Bears have 2 of theirs, but the Giants on the move have done this all on the ground. Second down. Looks like about 8.
Matt Barr's down there clapping. He's clapping for a touchdown because I saw him try and kick a field goal into this wind, and he was kicking rocks in the pregame.
Everything just dies when it gets down to the goal line. Flag on the play right at the line of scrimmage. Pass was incomplete, intended for Baker. It's against the Bears.
Offside. Defense. Number 72. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. Second down.
We'll see a few guys jump. It looks like the 2 guys in the middle, the one they called it on was 72, the fridge, because once he gets started, it's hard to get that stuff stopped and brought back. The others tried to, stop it and bring it back, but he just couldn't.
No mistake about who it is.
I'll tell you, that's a test for an official. If you can miss the refrigerator from being offside, then you can't be an official.
2nd and 3. Meggett is the back this time. And the handoff is to Meggett. Inside the 5. Gale and Carrier made the stop. Meggett got 11 and a Giant first down.
Big play by Dave Meggett. Happiest guy, the kicker, Matt Barr again. He knows, okay, now we're in here. Maybe I couldn't make it from back there. I hope we don't have to kick it. But after Dave Meggett makes this run, I know I can kick it from there. And you see Meggett, one thing he is not going to do is fumble. I mean, he put every kind of protection on that ball that you can put on it.
And the Giants just used their last timeout here in the first half with 37 seconds left to play.
I think that thing that they did on 4th down would be a pretty good play here. I think that's what Mike Ditkin's going to be thinking over there, that why not let Hostetler run with it? Yeah. You know, roll out, get out there on the perimeter. He's had pretty good success doing that, and then have the option to run or pass.
This has been a very, very impressive drive by the Giants. 10 plays. They've gone 76 yards, all on the ground, and kept the ball 5 minutes and 40 seconds.
I've been very impressed with the Giants this first half in their game plan.
Remember, they had that extra week. In fact, they didn't even work out yesterday. Bill said if they don't know it by now, they'll never know it. Hostetler. Touchdown to Howard Cross, but a flag on the play. Holding on the defense, it is a touchdown.
Well, they did exactly what we were talking about. The first 2 times they rolled out to the right. That time Hostetler went to the left.
And the only pass in that entire drive got him a touchdown.
Watch him. He's going to fake the run to the right, then he's going to come out on a bootleg to his left and find Howard Cross, number 87, in the end zone.
Barr's extra point is good, and it's 17-3, a flag on the extra point.
Hey, Jeff Hostetler is really cool. You know, you talk about a backup quarterback, and you'd think that he'd be nervous and all
we
that.
We have offside on the defense. The point is good. We will penalize 5 yards on the kickoff.
Hey, you watch this from behind. You'll see how cool he is. Watch, he makes that fake to O.J. Anderson. Then he comes the opposite way. That's called a bootleg. Watch, there's going to be hands and arms out in front of him. Boom, he just throws it in there to cross in the end zone. In fact, there was one arm up around his neck. That was Richard Dent. And has a sleeper hold on him. That's the old sleeper. You got to check his arm. You got to check his arm to see if he's asleep yet. Hostetler is not playing like a guy who is not a starter. He is playing like a cool veteran guy who's been starting in this league for 10 years.
Well, you know, he's a heck of an athlete. He's been around here 7 years, but there have been times in those 7 years when he's been used as a wide receiver.
We've seen him as a wide receiver. We've seen him as a special teams guy. We've seen him as a fullback on the punt cover team.
Barr bounces the kickoff to Rouse. He gets out to about the 35-yard line. 29 seconds remaining. Tillman made the stop. Don't forget to stay with us at the half. Greg and Terry, after making the journey back from San Francisco, Pat O'Brien and Leslie Visser with reports from the locker room, and that's where they'll be at the half.
Well, they don't have anything built yet. Look, they just got pieces. They got to piece that whole thing together. There's Bradshaw right there. He's waiting for it.
He's going to help with the construction.
I think he has to, because they didn't have any parts.
Here's Tomczak, chased by Pepper Johnson, finally throws incomplete. Wendell Davis, the intended receiver. Mark Collins.
See, now there you got Terry Bradshaw. You have Greg Gumbel, and then see, they're talking about now. You see, they got to take. See, like here, this has to go. This wall has to go up. They got to get that stuff in. They just bring everything. When they talk about bringing on the road, they bring everything on the road.
One of those platforms is Terry's, the other's Greg's.
I saw Terry had a hammer in his pocket. I just saw a hammer. He had one of those belts on.
Pass is picked off by Everson Walls. Intended for Davis. And now it is not an interception. Ball hit the ground.
That was still a pretty good play. He did drop it. It went right through his legs, but went right through his hands, then his arms, and his legs. But that was pretty good coverage. They know, of course, that the Bears have to just throw a deep one with just 15 seconds left.
17-3. The Giants lead. The handoff on a draw play to Anderson. Clock still running. Lawrence Taylor on the stop. A gain of 9, but that is the end of the first half. Maybe.
I think the Bears took a timeout.
There's that true working. Now, I don't see Terry and Greg in there.
No, they hand the hammers to the other guys, but they thought the clock stopped, and they said they're going to have to take it apart again. You got to get that off the field, because the Bears, of course, they have 3rd and short here, and there's 5 seconds left, and they're going with the wind. See that? You can do anything in a matter of time. 5 seconds, you can put the whole thing up there. Then at halftime, they'll look like they've been there the whole time.
And Bradshaw and Gumbel are what you call foremen.
Yeah, well, no, yeah, they held the tools, though, too, because they carry, those two guys carry tools wherever they go with them. I watch them, and I see them. They always have, like that belt they put around their,
yeah.
Both of them always have one of those.
You can put everything in there.
Leslie Visser carries the tools, too, to help put the thing together.
She's back by the locker room right now. Here's Tomczak. Gets away from one. This time, that's the end of the first half. With the score, the Giants 17, the Bears 3.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football Conference Divisional Playoff game is sponsored by Honda, maker of fine quality automobiles. Test drive a Honda at your local dealer today. United Airlines, serving over 200 cities in the U.S. and around the world. Come fly the friendly skies. And by Miller Genuine Draft, cold filtered for real draft taste. So get out of the old, get into the cold.
What is it that makes the world so great? Is it the beauty we see everywhere we go? It is. But probably what really makes the world so great is people. We think the same way about our airline, United. Come see what dedication is all about. Come fly the friendly skies.
Did you hear about the Tri-State Quality Ford Dealers #1 sales event?
Just looking. I'm not ready to buy.
But now you could save big on that 4x4 Ford Explorer, loaded with AM/FM stereo, air, and more.
All 4x4s are the same.
Only Explorer has one-touch shift on the fly 4-wheel drive.
Oh, really?
Plus, the Explorer has more cargo and interior room and costs over $1,000 less than Jeep Cherokee.
All that and $1,000 less? I like it.
It's the #1 sales event.
See your Ford dealer and see for yourself.
This is a long way from downtown Chicago. Riding mass transit, working late every night. You finally got the raise that got you the gold card, that got you the phone number, that arranges your weekends wherever you want them. But you always want them in Montana. The gold card, only from American Express. Don't leave home without it.
Back at
the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The New York Giants are leading the Chicago Bears at halftime by a score of 17-3. Terry, we talked about smash-mouth football. This is a key play in the first half.
Fourth down, a gamble by Mike Ditka. A good call, I think, to try to get himself back in the game. But look what Pepper Johnson does. Loses his helmet, still going after the football. I guess you call that a hit for the football, huh?
That's right. Welcome back, everyone. Greg Gumbel along with Terry Bradshaw. I guess at times it's hammer time, wouldn't you say? An amazing statistic about this first half. We thought perhaps we wouldn't see 29 passes all day long. Between Mike Tomczak and Jeff Hostetler, they've thrown the ball 29 times, but Hostetler has been the one who's been a little bit surprising in the first half.
And I said also, it's courageous. Which coach would be courageous? Both have been by getting out of their game plan. But Hostetler told us the one thing they would do is throw to the weak side. Key this weak safety right there, folks. Notice now Baker is man for man here. Here comes the receiver out in motion. Hostetler drops back and stares this way, which freezes this weak safety line. Baker down and to the corner for a touchdown. This was set up earlier when Hostetler hit Baker on an O-cut, once again to the weak side. Watch this now. There's motion. Keep your eyes in the middle, down the field. Hostetler opening up to the right as we hold it right there. There you go. Look, he's here. Look, this safety is not helping out. He's frozen, but now this man is trailing. Baker is wide open. A beautiful throw. Once again, though, the pass was around the 20-yard line where the wind has little or no effect whatsoever on the trajectory.
And it's 17-3 in favor of the Giants at halftime. One quick note on fourth down attempts. The New York Giants are 2 for 2 today. The Bears are 0 for 3. Later today, the AFC champion or playoff game will take place in Los Angeles between the Raiders and the Cincinnati Bengals. You'll recall Cincinnati running back James Brooks with a dislocated thumb has had a plate inserted in that thumb. Our report is right now that he will attempt to play in that game later today between the Bengals and the Los Angeles Raiders. We will have more for you from the Meadowlands Giant Stadium right after this.
We are all right! I was just watching CBS Sports. You know they make me want to shout, kick my heels up and shout, throw my head back and shout, reach my hands up and shout, come on now, hey, 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 jump up and shout now, 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 everybody shout now, everybody shout now.
Now wait a minute!
You know they make me want to shout, kick my heels up and shout, throw my head back and shout, reach my hands back and shout, come on now, shout, hey.
There's no one for the tight end. So the tight end, he just runs a post. He just goes straight up the middle.
Is Saddam Hussein ready to retaliate with terrorist attacks in the United States and Europe? No doubt about it, say intelligence experts. 60 Minutes tonight.
Robert Duvall in his finest role is Augustus McCrae,
I'd like the chance to shoot at an educated man once in my life.
part-time lawman,
The kind of man that's a pleasure to hang.
full-time ladies' man.
The older the violin, the sweeter the music.
Relive his story. America returns to Lonesome Dove, January 20th.
This is CBS.
The Lexus LS400 is equipped with a very sophisticated suspension system, which makes it seem like it's riding on rails, even when it's not.
In just 4 days, starting Thursday, you can play Super Lotto and get a crack at winning over $50 million. Over $50 million. Super Lotto is the biggest, baddest, grandest jackpot in the history of New York State. Get ready. This could be your year.
Matlock, Monday at 4 on Channel 2.
Welcome back to Giant Stadium here at East Rutherford, New Jersey. The New York Giants leading the Chicago Bears by a score of 17-3. And much the same way the Redskins started their game against the 49ers yesterday, the Bears started well, but it's the Giants who are leading now at halftime. As to what the Bears might be thinking right about now, let's check in with Pat O'Brien. Pat?
Hey, Greg, thank you. I've been around a lot of locker rooms in this situation, and the Chicago Bears show a little cause for concern, but no panic whatsoever. I walked in with Mike Tomczak, and I said, what do you got to do? He said 2 words, Pat, running game. They've got to get Neil Anderson back into this ball game. 9 carries, 15 yards. Cheering the teammates on as they went in, and the coaches going in anyway said right now when these guys got to come back out, they got to do something quick if they can. Let's go back to Leslie.
Pat, over on this side, as the Giants came off the field with their 14-point lead, they were cheered on by a small group of people, including David Dinkins, the mayor of New York. Offensive coordinator Ron Earhart said that their spread formation, the Bears gave him a little bit of trouble early. Dent, Rivera, Armstrong all got to Hostetler, but they straightened that out. They get the ball first in the second half and look for more fireworks. Let's go back to you, Greg.
All right, Leslie, thank you very much. We'll take a time out here, and when we come back, Pat Summerall and John Madden will have second half action for you from the Meadowlands as the NFL continues on CBS.
Who guarantees overnight air delivery before 10:30 to the most people coast to coast? Who did you think?
At McDonald's, we're working on something big. Big Mac, Quarter Pounder with cheese, McDLT. We put a lot of good into every hamburger. McDonald's, always good food, always good value.
Ready for some good news? If your car is in an accident and you have Allstate insurance, you can leave it in our hands. Allstate's recommended pro shops can do everything, including the estimate, in one stop. And to make you feel even better, Allstate will guarantee their workmanship for as long as you own your car. Well, that's the news. Now, be careful. You're in good hands with Allstate, a member of the Sears Financial Network.
Die-Hard, America's most trusted replacement battery. Its breakthrough design gives you more power and more confidence from the start. Sears Die-Hard, more power when you need it most.
Who guarantees overnight air delivery before 10:30 to more businesses than anyone else in the business? Who did you think?
She lived in a world of innocence. He thrived in a world of danger.
Your son's a material witness to a homicide.
But when their worlds collided, 2 people who were so different became so close. Harrison Ford, Kelly McGillis, Witness, Sunday after 60 Minutes.
Tomorrow, will we go to war with Iraq? Dan Rather joins Charles Carrault and Leslie Stahl as the deadline expires on a special edition of America Tonight.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football Conference Divisional Playoff game is sponsored by today's Chevrolet, who invite you to see why more people are winning with the heartbeat of America. Budweiser, with that clean, crisp, cold taste, nothing beats a Bud. And by UPS, now offering 10:30 a.m. guaranteed overnight air delivery.
Back at Giants Stadium, Pat Summerall, John Madden, the Giants leading the Bears 17-3 as we're just about ready to start the second half. And I think you have to be impressed, number one, with the Giants' game plan, and number two, with the way they were finally able to run the ball that entire drive to give them that second touchdown.
Well, you know, in the first half, I think the Giants just came out here. They looked a lot fresher. I think they just physically have beaten the Bears in that first half. I think that last week took a lot out of the Bears. That Saint game, the Giants didn't have to play. They looked fresh. They looked very sharp. I like their game plan, and I like their execution. I mean, they have just beaten the Bears to the punch.
What do the Bears need to do about that?
Well, I think the thing that would help him is probably to get the wind and then do something. But if you look at what they did today, they've only rushed for 23 yards. That has to go way, way up. And then you can see third down conversions, only 1 out of 7, and 0 out of 3 on fourth down conversions. That's what's been killing them.
Bouncing kickoff to Ingram, who is hit at about the 35 and flung to the ground by James Rouse, and the flag comes down.
I know one thing, you talk about playoff and you talk about urgency. That's what the Bears ought to be thinking about there at halftime. We need emotion. We got to go out there and whip them, because if we don't, our season is over. The winner of this game goes and plays the 49ers for the championship. The loser goes home.
It's the finality of the whole thing that's part of it.
And sometimes you're a coach.
Foul on the kicking team, number 30, 15 yards, first down.
Sometimes you're a coach and you go in and you fire your guys up and you say, hey, we have to do that, and then they come out too fired up. Now that, that tackle, I think, was fine. It had to be something that happened after the tackle.
There was a little shoving going on after that.
Yeah, because they couldn't call a 15-yard penalty on that tackle.
In any case, it's first down, Giants at midfield. They lead 17-3. Anderson and Carthon are the running backs, and here's Hostetler with the win, back to Baker. Incomplete. Vesti Jackson back with Baker.
Hey, one thing about Stephen Baker, he's a little guy. He only weighs about 160 pounds, but watch him get up in the air. I mean, he is up in the air. He is over Jackson's head. In fact, I think he had his hands over Jackson's head, and the ball may have hit Jackson's helmet.
Or shoulder pad, one of the two.
That Stephen Baker's an exciting player.
He really is. 2nd and 10. Carthon in motion. They give to Anderson. He slips down at midfield. William Perry clamped him down.
I think Anderson slipped right in the paint there. But look at the Giants. You see how much they rushed for their 85 yards, 4.5 yards, 6.4 on first down. That's big because they did a lot of passing on first down. 0 for 5 on third down conversions, but the big point, 2 for 2 on fourth down, because both of those fourth down conversions they turned into touchdowns.
Both rollouts by Hostetler. Meggett. Here comes the Bears blitz. Hostetler up the middle, gets rid of it to Bavaro. Vesti Jackson knocked him out of bounds. He's close to a first down.
I don't know if he got the first down or not, but if he did, this was one great effort by Mark Bavaro. Pretty good effort by Hostetler getting him the ball. But look here, he looks like he should be tackled, should go out of bounds there, but he made that one lurch to get the first down. Now it's going to be interesting where they mark it here. They gave it to him. Well, I guess they did.
Now they've whipped up the fourth down, and Bill Parcells has already got 3 tight ends in the game, which means one more time he's going for it on fourth down. Timeout, Giants.
I think they want to review that play or take a timeout. Maybe the Giants want the officials to review it. It looked on the replay like that ball did get beyond the first down marker.
They lead 17-3.
Being a fan, nothing beats the sound of cheers. Nothing beats clean, crisp, and cold. Nothing beats the king of beers. Yeah, nothing. Nothing beats a bud. Yeah, nothing. Nothing beats a bud. Nothing. Nothing beats a Budweiser.
Ice cold Budweiser.
Nothing beats a bud.
Company.
Even when all of Company B heads for the phone, it's no problem for Gail Godfrey.
Delta Airlines, Gail Godfrey.
Y'all fly to Lubbock, Texas?
Yes, that is confirmed.
I got some friends who want to talk to you now. Just hold on a second. Thank you. Cincinnati, Ohio. New York City. Monroe, Louisiana. Albuquerque, New Mexico. San Jose, California. Portland, Oregon. Here, Montana.
You're all set. Thank you for calling, Delta.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Gail. Did you get many calls this afternoon? One.
Delta, we love to fly, and it shows.
They say the one on top has all the power. Which could be why more truck owners switched to Chevy last year than to any other truck. The top standard horsepower and the top available horsepower, our 454 SS, help make Chevrolet America's favorite half-ton pickup. For power at the top, more people are winning with.
The heartbeat of America, today's truck is Chevrolet.
Stop the presses! St. John's ranked 10, Redmen red hot, Yukon ranked 9. Whoa, boy! It's Big East, Big Bash, Big Fun today!
They're still reviewing that last effort by Bavaro.
I think that Bavaro, the ball did go beyond that first down. I think they review it, and they're going to give the Giants a first down. Because if we look at it, the first thing that hits the ground, watch it here on the clicker, and the first thing that hits the ground is the ball. Now, right there. Now, when the ball hits right there, that was beyond that marker. See the orange marker? Nothing else hits. The ball hits, and it's beyond the marker for the first down. That was a heck of an effort by Mark Bavaro.
It sure was.
You see right there, it's right in front of the hash mark. You see, that's where it has to be. The ball didn't go out of bounds, and if they're going to spot it, nothing hit until the ball hit. So that ball should be in front of the hash mark.
Well, here we go.
The play has been reviewed. We have re-spotted the ball. We're going to measure to see if we have a 1st and 10 or a 4th down.
Mike did
now, my question.
Hates his review.
My question is, why did he take it to the other side of the field to mark it?
That must be the official marking side of the field.
They're going to call it a first down. You're informed that that is the official side of the field. The marker's on the other side.
And it is a first down, and that is a heck of a move by Mark Bavaro. Look, his feet are off the ground, his knees are off the ground, his shoulders. Nothing hits till the ball hits. And you can see the ball hit beyond the first down marker. So Mark Bavaro knew exactly where he had to get, and he got there.
That is one heck of a play. You're right.
And it was a smart timeout, too, because they weren't going to review that until the Giants took timeout. Then they were able to look at it during commercial and change it. Bill Parcells has made some smart moves today.
He's had a lot of time to think with that week off.
He's doing that. Yeah, he's had that. He's gone for a couple 4th downs. He took a timeout to get a review. He picked up a first down, so he didn't have to go for it on 4th down.
So, in any case, it's 1st and 10. The Giants at the Bears 39. Anderson deep, Carthon in front of him. First down. Anderson to the 35. A gain of 4. Stopped by Perry. There's some life left in those legs.
I know it, and he's not talking about retiring. He's not talking about playing his last game. He's talking about getting in there and gaining yardage and continue to play. And you see what happens. He knows you're not going to move Perry. Bart Oates didn't move Perry an inch, but O.J. Anderson, when he came in, moved Perry a couple inches.
13 carries, 46 yards for Anderson. Stetler faked to him, rolled out, threw for Bavaro a little too hard and a little too far behind.
You know, Jeff Hostetler was saying yesterday that when he first became the starter, he felt that the Giants put in too many rollouts. You know, too many bootlegs, too many play passes, too many of those running type things, and didn't let him just be a quarterback. Then he said during that 2-week period, they eliminated a lot and just have the ones that he likes and the ones that he does well.
He also said something I thought was interesting. Unlike what some people think, he doesn't get back where he is now or under the center with the idea of running. He's back there to throw it. Hostetler is in play. Again in the direction of Bavaro, but again, the Bears applied the pressure. Morrissey was the first Bear there.
Yeah, Morrissey, Jim Morrissey came in and he knocked Hostetler right into the carpet. Watch that shot right there. Whoa. Now here's another 4th down, and the Giants have so much confidence in their 4th down that they're going for it. This would be a 52-yard field goal if they were to kick it with the wind. It must not be in Matt Barr's range, so they're going to go for it on 4th.
So it's 4th and 6 for a 1st down. Kyle's in the game. Here's Hostetler looking for some place to get out of there. He does. Now he's chased by Perry. And that's no race. Hostetler for the 1st down. 8 yards he picked up and enough for a Giant 1st.
The 2 things that kill a defense is speed by wide receivers and a running quarterback. You just think of the different things that he gives you. Watch this. Hostetler, this isn't going to be a run. The others were bootlegs and runs. There's nothing open. Meggett was covered. He starts to the middle, bounces out. Now he has to outrun the fridge. Can he do it? Yep. And when he does it, that gives him the 1st down.
1st and 10, Giants at the 26-yard line of the Bears. Hostetler back to throw. Complete. And that's Baker out of bounds. Covered by Vesti Jackson. That's another Giant 1st down.
I'll tell you what, if you can throw like this with the wind, get some points here, then the Giants will be in great shape going against the wind in the 4th quarter and just playing strong defense.
And they've been able to run it to go along with that.
I'll tell you, Hostetler has really impressed me today. He was talking about throwing into the wind or with the wind. He said the big thing is grip. You don't want to grip it too hard. You just want to get the right grip. He's had the right grip today.
Anderson, the lone setback. Anderson twirls down inside the 10. A pickup of 7.
Mike Ditka's realizing right now that he's getting an old-fashioned whipping. I mean, they're doing it with a you know, we talked about a great game plan, but good mixture. But then it's not just calling, it's not just going for it, but it's making holes like this. It's making runs like this. It's physically controlling this football game.
2nd and 3. Anderson again inside the 5 to about the 3. That should be enough for a 1st.
I'll tell you, had Hostetler looked out here to the left, though, Pat, he would have had a free touchdown. Stephen Baker was standing out here on the left, and there was no one on him. Watch here. Here's Baker. There's no defender here. This one's trying to get over here. But had Hostetler looked and saw this, it would have been the easiest touchdown he ever had in his life. Of course, when you get down there, they're just pounding it in there anyway. They're just having fun. You beat on them for a couple of quarters, and this is the fun part of the game.
1st and goal from the 3. Hostetler fake to Anderson. And now Hostetler will take off. Touchdown. Hostetler will hold for Matt Barr's effort at the extra point. Looking up at the scoreboard to recheck that touchdown he just made. Barr's extra point is good. The Giants lead 24-3 with 8:41 or 10:41 left to play in the third quarter. The Giants in control, led by Hostetler.
Did you know it's tough getting business people to agree on what's best? Yet business people do agree. Nobody beats AT&T when it comes to long-distance service. In an independent poll where users rated their carriers, AT&T was unsurpassed in the best technology and best service categories and was voted #1 in overall satisfaction. So now that we've agreed on AT&T, it's back to business as usual. Quality, another AT&T advantage.
From Gillette comes Sensor, the only razor that can sense and adjust to the individual needs of your face.
The best a man can get.
Sensor blades are mounted on responsive springs to continuously sense and individually adjust to your face. The closest, safest, most comfortable. Gillette Sensor, together with the richness of foamy shave cream, for the best shave a man can get.
Gillette, the best a man can get.
Hey, what's that?
Oh, that's that new Chevy. It's an APV.
An AP who?
Yeah, it's a code. Top secret. We're talking adjustable composite panels. See that? Zero gravity modular seats.
Oh, yeah?
Resilient mollustic cup polyurea fenders. And it's got this...
Chevy Luna APV. A very original way more people are winning with the heartbeat.
Biorhythms.
Biorhythm?
Yeah.
Now it's easy to win with the heartbeat.
A murder brought them together.
This is my command.
Now she's caught in the middle.
What are you so afraid of?
Sean Connery, Meg Ryan, Mark Harmon, The Presidio, Tuesday.
Dennis Gentry breaks out of the pack momentarily, gets it out to about the 31. Barr, the kicker, tripped him up. A couple of players slow in getting up. 24-3.
What, Barr was in on that tackle?
Right.
He's trying to get on the All-Madden team. Look, he's wobbly.
Campaigning for that.
Yeah, well, they have to help him off. He must have really made some hit. I think he's the only guy in football with the single face mask. Watch him, number 9 here. He's going to make the hit. The first thing you do is you come up and you square up, square up, square up. Then you unload your load. Boom! You let him have it. Exactly what Matt Barr did.
He keeps that up, he'll make the All-Madden team.
I might put him in there.
Hamzak, 8 straight incompletions, but that wasn't his fault.
That's the first. They had the doctor over there checking him, asking him, see, you know, can you see up? Can you see down? How many fingers? I always put up 5 fingers. Hey, this is it, though. Watch number 9 come in. You see what happened? That's a pretty good tackle. The only thing is you never, ever, ever put your head down.
2nd and 10. Anderson splits wide to the right. Collins comes out with it. Flag on the play. Draw play to Muster to about the 35, not much. Pepper Johnson made the stop, a 4-yard gain by Muster. That's Barr's helmet they're checking out. He drove some of those rivets back into it. Was a heck of a tackle.
Either that or Pepper Johnson's helmet they're still working on from that goal line play.
First penalty against the Giants.
You know, a quarterback, a kicker, is taught to never...
Offsides. Defense. Number 77. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. Second down.
Yeah, a kicker's like a golfer. You always keep your head down. Always keep your head down. That's good when you're kicking. But when you're tackling, you never put your head down. See that always, you know, in the kick, always keep your head down. Keep your head down like they tell you. But not when you tackle, you don't.
Second down. Morris was the man in motion. Tomczak gets it out to Gentry, and the Bears will have a first down, and Tomczak's streak of incompletions is over.
Yeah, you think of that fourth down. If you look at that, the Bears, before that fourth down play, they had 105 total yards. Remember, they went for it on fourth down in the goal line, and Washington made the shot, and then Pepper Johnson. After that, like took all the air out of it.
I remember you saying at that time, this could be the ball game right here.
And as I look back, I think it was a ball game.
I think it was too. Tomczak back to throw again. Wendell Davis to about the 27. Stopped by Jackson and Guyton. A pickup of 26.
This is where the Bears have to do it, and they have to do it quickly. They have to, you know, they have the wind. This is here. If you're going to pass, you want to pass as you're going in this direction, and now's the time to do it. Good pass protection, good throw. You know, the Bears are really calling plays now. Mike Ditka's calling them, and he's halfway out on the field.
First and 10 Bears, the Giant 28.
I think Wendell Davis got hurt on that last play, Pat. They just took him out.
Here's Tomczak. Pass is caught by Thornton. He's out of bounds after a gain of 6. Greg Jackson pushed him out.
There's Ditka there. You can see he wants to know the down and distance. He's going to call the plays.
Collins is hurt. And down. He got up for a moment. Pepper Johnson called for help, but that's Collins down.
Watch Mark Collins. He looks like right at the end of the play, he tries to pull up and he slips right on the sideline.
Right ankle.
The bigger than ever, better than ever 1991 Chevy S10 Blazer 4-door.
We wanted a motel, but Dad said camping's the thing. And my brother came along. Yuck!
Now America's best loved sport utility vehicle gives you 25% more cargo room and 100% more doors.
But so did my best friend Linda.
4-door S10 Blazer. Open one up and see why more people are winning with
The heartbeat of America.
Now it's easy to win with the heartbeat.
If every dog in the world were the same, all we'd make is dog chow, with the 43 essential nutrients normal adult dogs need. But dogs are different. That's why we make Dog Chow, Puppy Chow, Fit and Trim, and Purina High Pro. Pet tested, veterinarian recommended.
Whenever I used to watch TV, my brother Tom would always flip me out. Then we got this Magnavox Smart Window TV that lets Tommy flip through all the channels. And I could keep watching what I want to. Now I can see what I've been missing. And that's quite a lot.
Dean Witter believed in listening.
Listen, not only to what our clients say, but what they mean. Each client has a level of comfort. Endeavor to find it. We measure success one investor at a time.
They lived in two different worlds, but a passion to survive brought them closer than they ever imagined. Harrison Ford, Kelly McGillis, Witness after 60 Minutes tonight.
8:45, clock running in the third quarter. Working on Mark Collins. 2nd and 4 Bears. Deep in Giant territory now. Tomczak gives to Anderson. for a pickup of 3. They'll need a yard for a first. Stop by Pepper Johnson.
Yeah, the Giants are still using that 4-man line, Pat, and I think that's the first rush that the Bears have had this second half, and they've really stopped them. I mean, they've really contained that running, and then of course when you get ahead, now the run's not going to do that much good. But I think the 4-man line not only surprised the Bears, but I think it's functioned very well.
And it's made, perhaps, the Bears throw more than they wanted to. Here's Tom Zach, flag on the play. Dumps it out to Anderson. Anderson inside the 10, out of bounds at the 7.
The thing is, the Bears haven't had the ball a lot, but they just haven't gotten it in this man's hands enough. I mean, if the Bears have any chance offensively to do anything, it has to be in Neil Anderson's hands.
I think the Giants might have had 12 men on the field. But the Bears will stick with the play because Anderson got it down to about the 7 where it'll be 1st and goal.
Well, that's a good defense.
We have delay
that's the all 4-4-4.
on the defense. Too many men on the field
done
at the time of the snap. Penalty was declined. First down.
Yeah, I think half of them were playing a 4-man line and half were playing a 3-man line, and they ended up exactly in a 4-4-4. You see, they got the 12. Here's the one guy trying to get off, and that's what it is. And then they just had 11 that were there ready to play.
At the 7, it's 1st and goal. Buster and Anderson. The rollout is to Tom Zach, who fires it over everybody. Closest man was Thornton.
That was just good coverage there. Everyone was covered. I think they tried to fool him with a play pass. Didn't. Good coverage. Tom Zach just threw that one away.
That's Collins. They'll take him into the locker room for an X-ray.
First, we know that now we see Mark Collins go out. The Bears, the Giants today have already lost Rodney Hampton.
Davis right, Morris left. Thornton now moves over to the left side. 2nd and goal from the 7. Tom Zach on a draw play. Anderson maybe to the 4.5, stopped by Reason.
That's the area that the Bears usually make so much of their running game, right inside that middle on that delay or draw type stuff. But those guys that are handling that middle, Marshall and Howard and Washington and those guys, have played extremely well in there today.
They really have. And there's a guy who came up with a tremendous plan as to how to handle Mike Ditka's Bears. 24-3, Giants lead. Muster, the lone setback. They throw it out to Muster, and he is stopped right at the 5. No gain. Everson Walls came up to make the tackle.
Hey, one thing, the Giants have really played well down in the goal line. Remember earlier, this play, this could have set the tone of the whole game. This could have been the play that changed the game. This could have been the play, the situation that won the game for the Giants right here. And now they're doing it again. Here we see right here the little loop out to Muster. Everson Walls has been criticized for his tackling. Comes up and makes a tackle for no gain.
And it brings up 4th and goal from the 5. Anderson comes out as a flanker. Split wide to the right. Muster stays in the block. Nothing for Tom Zach. They don't make it. He couldn't find anybody. He finally hit Thornton. But one more time, they couldn't get it in.
And these fans really appreciate their defense. All fans appreciate offense. All fans appreciate quarterback. But here in New York, they really appreciate their defense.
That goes back to the days of Sam Huff and company at Yankee Stadium.
Hey, when you get pressure like that, first of all, there's good coverage. Look at Tom Zach. He can't find anyone. He can't see anything. And by the time he finally does, Eric Dorsey is right on him.
So the Giants take over. inside the 1. That's a new maneuver by Ditka.
We had a replay. Play stands is called. Short of the goal line.
Look at the pressure Mike Tomczak started under the guard before that play.
Eric Dorsey rolled into Tomczak just as he let it go. Giant ball. That's Carthon with it. He's hit right at the line. Struggle for perhaps a yard. Taken down by Singletary. But the clock continues. 5:25 left to play. Third quarter. Giants 24, Bears 3.
There's a fired up group. I mean, they came out in the introduction and the pregame warm-up that Giant defense was fired up, and they have played that way all day. They've performed extremely well, and they've tackled very well.
Otis Anderson this time, stopped by William Perry. 49ers looking on. The winner of this will play at Candlestick next Sunday.
Yeah, they remember, I'm sure that both the 49ers and the Giants remember that last one. It was 7-3 back there in Candlestick on a Monday night game. That was a real war, and that was regular season. Imagine what a game like that will be for a championship.
Two teams with the two best records. I guess it's only fitting.
Now the Giants with a 24-3 lead. Now they're trying to take as much time as they can. Even in the third quarter, they're running time off.
That's Anderson. Broke a couple of tacklers. Got 7 yards and got a first down. Carrier and Armstrong.
That
stop for the Bears.
Is what it's all about, Pat. You know, when you can do, I mean, there's a lot of runs that you can make around midfield, but when you can bring it off the goal line like O.J. Anderson did just there, that is something that bends you over backwards.
The oldest active running back in the NFL. Today he looks like the youngest.
He can still play on my team.
This is Anderson again. To about the 18. Carrier made the stop. 6 yards for Otis.
You know, Otis is the type of guy that, you know, he's been in the league 12 years, and he just seems to get better the more you give him the ball. I mean, if you only give him the ball 2 or 3 times a game, I mean, he doesn't do very much. When you just give him the ball and you pound him in there and you pound him in there and you pound him, he really comes through for you.
18 carries, 73 yards for Anderson.
And someday in this game, before this day's over, he is going to get a headbutt or a hug from Bill Parcells.
This is Tillman around left side, giving Anderson a breather for a first down and a gain of 6. Sean Gale made the stop. They are just wearing him down.
And that's exactly what Bill Parcells wants to do. Just keep that clock going. Just wear them down. Just keep changing your running backs. Again, Rodney Hampton is out. They have lost him. They do not want to let the Bears have the ball. Just play keep away.
They've been able to do it a couple of long drives from down deep in their own territory.
And fourth down has been a real big story today.
It really has. This is Tillman again, the slasher. Got perhaps 2. A reminder that coming up next on CBS Sports, following the NFL and the postgame show, St. John's against UConn. Big East battle in NCAA basketball. Luke Carnesecca's 10th-ranked St. John's Redmen travel to UConn. Face the 9th-ranked Huskies. That's right after the game and the postgame show. 2nd and 8. Here's Hostetler back. has a man open. It's Ingram. Another first down, stopped by Donnell Wolford. 12-yard pickup.
A guy who's really done a good job today, Pat, is Jumbo Elliott. I think someday he's going to be one of the best tackles in the league. Now, he's drawn Richard Dent, who is a good pass rusher, but here's Elliott. And again, on this play, he's just going to take him and push him to the outside. Get him going up the field. Just push him out beyond your quarterback. But I think when you talk about run blocking, pass protection, and everything, Jumbo Elliott has played a very, very solid game today.
Tillman again, the deep back. First down, Giants. Hostetler will throw it. Or maybe he'll run it. He is down in the arms of Ron Cox. A loss of 7. You're wondering what that 91 on the front of the Bear jerseys is for in black. Fortunately, Fred Washington involved in an automobile accident earlier this year, not too long ago, as a matter of fact. Lost his life, and the Bears remember. Second and 17. Lawrence Taylor acknowledging the fans. And this effort by the Giants. That's the end of the third quarter with the score. Giants 24, the Bears 3.
They're all guts, all glory. They're the all-Madden team.
Getting to know you. Geo Metro XFI. That's the best mileage you can get. This car can make a difference. Runs clean. I know I'd breathe a lot easier. And it's so affordable. It'll let me see more of the world. I like where this is going. Getting to know you.
Now's the time to get to know the Geo Metro XFI at your Chevrolet Geo dealers.
Who guarantees overnight air delivery before 10:30 to the most places across the country? Who did you think?
No one can guarantee you a perfect world. A world where the unexpected never intrudes. But some of us know we'll be taken care of, quickly and compassionately. In an imperfect world, you're in good hands with Allstate, a member of the Sears Financial Network.
Who guarantees overnight air delivery before 10:30 to the most people coast to coast? Who did you think?
At Giant Stadium, I'm Pat Summerall with John Madden. Collins slightly sprained. Gabriel is part of that Giant defense, I think.
That's something. A guy plays and no one watches him, and he said, heck, I'll bring my own horn and blow it.
Second and 17. Cross moving around, and Hostetler back to throw it. And got hit just as he let it go. Flag on the play. Singletary was on a blitz.
You're going to see Singletary here. They know that they have to get the ball back. They're going after him. Singletary just comes on what they call a delay blitz. No one gets him. Hostetler, when he turns to the left, the first thing he sees is Singletary, and he can't get it up over him. They call that one for grounding. I don't know. He looked like he was trying to throw it.
On the offense, number 15 is a 10-yard penalty plus a loss of down.
Loss of down is a big part of that one's third down. Opening seconds of the final quarter. Unless the Bears should tie it. Right now the Giants lead 24-3, 3rd and 27. Meggett in the backfield with Hostetler. And the Bears show blitz. Don't come. Draw play to Meggett. Finally smothered by the Bears. Richard Dent, Dan Hampton also with an assist.
You know where the Giants have done such a good job in ball control in this whole second half. The Bears have only had the ball one time, so you're down 24-3. You're trying to make a comeback, and the frustration of it is you just can't get the ball.
It's hard to make the comeback when the other folks have got it. Landeta in the punt. Bailey back deep for the Bears. He returned 195 yards against Kansas City. And that won him the punt return championship for the year. And Dennis' kick is a good one. Bailey. The first man down. Guess who? Renee Thompson.
Renee Thompson, I think, is probably the best special teams player that ever played the game. Watch him. They only got one guy on him. He has about 3 gears. He comes down in one, puts it in a second, then in a third, and then goes it down to second and makes the tackle again.
Our coverage will continue after this message from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
This is CBS.
When it comes to brewing beer, the Germans really have a way. And here's their best way. Beck's, the #1 imported German beer.
The travel agent said, do you want to fly in the back on Delta or on the front on Eastern? Take your choice, same price. The answer was obvious. I chose Eastern, flew in the front. That word will get around.
You tell him. You tell him. You tell him. Me tell him. I told him last year. Let's choose. I have odds. Okay. Once, twice, 3. Shoot, shoot, shoot. I win. You tell him. Okay. Okay. I'll tell him this year, but you tell him next year and the year after that. Deal. Go on. Go.
Poor Danny. He's about to find out once again the Honda Accord is the best-selling car in America.
I can't tell him.
Honda, the car that sells itself at your New York, New Jersey, Connecticut Tri-Honda dealer.
Hey, the boots come a long way for one day.
Without a hitch.
Not what I hear.
What?
At the airport, someone swiped your wallet.
Oh, right.
What about your client dinner tonight? You know, you're sitting on the biggest order of the year.
Is Mr. Moore here? I'm Chris Moore. I've got you a replacement card in cash from American Express. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
How did you do that?
Only one card gives you the privileges of membership. The American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
Every beer in the world tries to measure up to German beer. Every German beer tries to measure up to Beck's, the #1 imported German beer.
Matlock, Monday at 4 on Channel 2.
24-3, the Giants over the Bears for the right to play the 49ers next week at Candlestick to see who goes to the Super Bowl. Buster was the lone setback. Pass incomplete, intended for Morris. And Hampton a little disgusted.
There's a guy who's been a real warrior in this league, and I think right now he can see a career ending. He knows that this is going to be his last year, his last season, and of course when the Bears lose, it's his last game.
A lot of people thought he shouldn't have come back this year, but he said, in fact, he told us in Chicago, when I came here, this was a pretty good house. It was pretty strong. Things seemed to be in order. And last year, I didn't like the way it looked, so I came back. Tomczak, with a lot of time this time, gets it out to Wendell Davis. Pickup of 14 yards and should be enough and is enough for a Bear first down. Best protection Tomczak's had all day.
Yeah, and it's going to be too much too late. I mean, they came in there and they had to be able to run the ball and to, you know, play pass and get some passes, and they just haven't been able to do any of those things. Neil Anderson's only rushed for 20 yards. They just didn't get the ball to him enough today.
Tomczak dumps it off to Anderson. No gain. Pepper Johnson there with Anderson.
And maybe that's why they haven't gotten to it. They've had someone like Pepper Johnson peppered to them all day. I mean, this Giant defense has really been well prepared. I mean, they're back to their three-man defense now, playing their double zone, you know, playing their conservative defensive football. But, boy, did they mix up and change things on these Bears today.
Second down. Ball played at Anderson, right at the line of scrimmage by Pepper Johnson. Maybe he lost one.
Look at Pepper. He's fired up. There's Bill Belichick. He's the defensive coordinator of this team, and he's the guy that put this game plan together, and I think he did an excellent job. You know, he went to Chicago last week, watched the Bears play New Orleans, and he called his game plan against the Bears while he was sitting in Soldier Field. And he said, you know, I learned some things that could have hurt us if I would have done that. So I've changed them, and this is what he came up with.
Here's Tomczak. He gets it to Gentry, and Gentry hustles for what appears to be a first down, knocked out of bounds by Roger Brown.
Hey, you talk about guys that have done a good job. There's a guy, Jeff Hostetler, you say, you know, the backup quarterback, and I've always said that a backup quarterback can win games, can even win playoff games, but I don't think can win a championship, can take you all the way to the Super Bowl. But the way this guy has played today, I don't know that I don't believe that he couldn't do it.
Well, you know, as we said before, he's been around here for a long time, 7 years, and he is a heck of an intelligent athlete. Tomczak, incomplete. Intended for Thornton.
You know, you talk about key plays in the game, Pat. How about Mark Bavaro's that third down play when they had to get the first down? And I don't know how he did that, how he got that ball out there and nothing else touched the ground. He knew exactly where he was and picked up that first down.
And look, he smiled.
He doesn't do much of that. Hey, it's tough on the other side. You know what's tough is realizing the finality that you just go and start putting stuff in boxes.
And about now, you start to realize that it's starting to sink in. Pass intended for Dennis Gentry. Peter Tom Willis, a man with the 3 names, warming up on the sideline, number 10. The rookie from Florida State, Dan Hampton.
I think the thing is, one thing Hampton said, that he was able to do it his way, though. Some people thought he shouldn't come back, he wouldn't come back, but he wanted to do it and said, one thing, I did it my way.
Pass batted by Renee Thompson and batted away from the Bear receiver. Kozlowski was the intended.
Yeah, one of the Bear players told us about Tomczak and his confidence, and he said he noticed that the more he looks to the sidelines, the less confidence he had. He said when Mike Tomczak, and it's really not fair to say that now when it's 24-3, but he said when he has a lot of confidence, he doesn't look at the sidelines as much. And when he doesn't, he's always looking over at the sideline.
The Bears are 0 for 4 on 4th down, and it's 4th and 10. Tomczak to Kozlowski. And now they have finally converted on a 4th down situation.
Kozlowski tried to make that same move that Bavaro made, and he did. I mean, again, a smart play, knowing where you are on 3rd down and where you have to get it to. Or on 4th down. I mean, know where that marker is, and as you spin, you see him look to the sideline and then try and get one more little oomph in there. If you didn't have it before, you got it now.
1st and 10 Bears. Tomczak in the direction of Gentry, but picked off by Walls. And Everson Walls still going. Walls 4-3, Giants lead. They have the ball.
The Japanese and Germans created a new class of luxury cars. We thought that was a good idea. They engineered many with sophisticated engines and driver's side airbag standard. We thought that was a good idea. They priced them higher than most people's annual salary. We thought that was a lousy idea. Chrysler's LeBaron sedan, America's new class of luxury.
Now get cashback savings with Chrysler's Golden Advantage. The airline that brings you 10 countries across Asia and the Pacific now bridges the Atlantic to Europe. With flights to Frankfurt and to Paris. Come fly the airline that spans more than half the world. United. Come fly the friendly skies.
Own a foreign car, Midas has the right brake parts in stock for practically every foreign car. And our brake technicians are trained experts, so we do the job right and right away. For foreign car brakes, nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
Buongiorno. I'm in Italy enjoying one of the true specialties of Italian cuisine, the New York strip. Perfecto. Boy, feels like I'm in the USA. Beef, real food in Little Italy, New York.
Everson Walls. The Cowboys let him go. But he's fit in here.
It's amazing after they make an interception how much they see. I was on you, I saw you, I did this, I did that. They have everything covered.
On first down, it's Anderson for a couple. Stopped by Hampton.
Watch the pressure. You see the first pressure that he got was from Pepper Johnson, and then he had to pull his hand down, and then when he throws the interception, he's still going to get it. They're still going after him. The first guy that got it was Pepper Johnson. The second guy that got him was Lawrence Taylor. When you wear a team number, you're a marked man, especially when you have QB after your name.
Second and about 7 or 8. Anderson behind Carthon. Anderson again. Hit right at the line of scrimmage by William Perry. No advance.
I tell you, if you run in there too many times on William Perry, you're going to have a lot of no advances. That's one thing that I was surprised that the Giants kept trying to do, is run right in there on that guy, because that's darn near an impossibility. I think just about everything else the Giants did today, they had success except that.
3rd and 8. Hostetler with Carthon behind him in motion now, and he gives our fix to Anderson. Hostetler dives close to the first down. That's close and dangerous.
I'll tell you, you know who's thinking about this play right here? That bootleg play with the quarterback running, the quarterback diving. He's trying to make a Bavaro play now. But I'll guarantee you who's watching it and thinking about it right now is Charles Haley of the 49ers. Because he's the guy who loves to go after the quarterback and doesn't like to keep containment.
First down on the dive by Hostetler. This game is presented by the authority of the National Football League, and this CBS telecast intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of CBS, the Chicago Bears, and the New York Giants, and the National Football League is prohibited. Now they're going to review the spot.
After further review, play stands as called. First down.
It is a first down.
Hey, what they're talking about again is the Bears have really had trouble keeping containment of Hostetler.
Really?
He is, and you know, if you take your outside guys and you tell them to contain, then a lot of times that takes the aggressiveness out of them. So then you just get them standing there. So then if you get them standing there, you say, come on, go after him. Then you go after him, and the quarterback gets outside. It'll drive you nuts.
It takes him right out of the pass rush.
And I think that's exactly what happened to Richard Dent.
Ingram, the man in motion. To Anderson. O.J. to the 40, to the 35. A pickup of 6. Stopped by Roper.
Old O.J. still has some fight into him, too, doesn't he? He said, you know, he was saying last year, he said he had a pretty good year, and everyone was saying O.J. made a comeback. He said, but he had a pulled groin all year. He said he was never healthy all last year. He said this year he's healthy, and I think he's making moves like he did 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah. 21 times he's handled it.
In fact, they got a surprise. The team has a surprise. I thought they'd given it to him, but they bought him a Rolex watch, I've heard, for his 10,000 yards. They haven't given it to him yet.
2nd and 4. Anderson got the rest. That's Tillman. Inside the 35, he picked up 3. Sean Gale made the stop. 24-3. The Giants over the Bears. A sad end to that chapter.
You know, you think
that book.
You think that book that he has that equipment on, that helmet, the shoulder pads, jerseys, hand pad. You've been wearing it for so many years of your life. Not only your 12 years with your Bears, but college, high school, all the way back. And after this game's over, you're going to take it off, and never put it on again.
I think he's ready. 3rd and about a yard. And Tillman fighting. I think he got it. Picked up 2. Gale made the stop along with Perry.
I think that realization has set in on that Bear sideline that the season's over. It's been a good season. For Dan Hampton, of course, it's been a great career, but I think they realize now it's all done.
Clock running, 8:20 left to play in this contest. Jeff Hostetler's done a heck of a job today. Otis Anderson has been outstanding.
How about that giant offensive line and defensive line? I think that's a big story. The lines have controlled the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball.
That's Tillman inside the 25. Stopped by Carrier and Cox. The coordinating producers of the NFL on CBS, Charles H. Milton III and Ed Gorin. This game produced by Robert D. Stinner, directed by Sandy Grossman. The NFL Today produced by Eric Mann, directed by Kathy Barretto. Senior producer David Winter, and the executive producer Ted Shaker. And be sure to stay around after the game is over for the post-game show, the NFL Today, where they'll be talking with the retiring Dan Hampton as well as the winners, the Giants. Tillman to about the 21. Mark Carrier made the stop.
Yeah, they've really done a lot over there on that left side today, and I think you have to give Jumbo Elliott and William Roberts a lot of credit, too, in the job that they've done in the tight ends, that most of their running, or most of their successful running, has been to that left side. I think the Giants slumped a little when they lost Jumbo Elliott. He had a broken leg for a while, and he was out. And then when he came back, that gave them that big guy they need in that offensive line, that guy to kind of anchor, you know, to kind of hang everyone else on.
Jumbo, when he had that broken leg, he wouldn't talk about it. He wouldn't talk to anybody about it.
Well, no, and Coach Parcells said, you know, he just has a leg. He has a little leg. He has a leg. He's not playing. And that leg that he had was a broken leg.
You'd ask him, how are you? I'm fine. Why aren't you playing? I'm fine.
Yeah,
What's wrong? I'm fine.
Yeah, and then when you get, and they say it's non-weight bearing, but when you're that big, I mean, that guy fills out that stuff. I mean, he's well over 300 pounds, Jumbo Elliott. You know, everything is weight bearing.
I was going to say, you showed me a part of a guy like that. It's not weight bearing. Third down, about a foot.
I like him. You know, he may not be a bad guy to put on the All-Madden team, Pat. You know, I mean, I mean, a cold day, you come out there, your shirt sleeves, you have them short, you got to take on Dent, got to take on that tough Bear defense, you bang in there all day. That's not a bad choice. I like him.
Your helmet looks like a skull cap. First down, Giants. Four and a half minutes left to play.
Let's just watch him fire out here. You watch and see what a tackle that you see. You got to stay low, boom, and just fire out like that. That's pretty doggone good. I mean, he took McMichael and he just put him right to the ground. That's a drive block. I mean, you could take that one to the movies and show it. That's how to drive block.
Well, Bill Parcells was telling us if we win, it certainly looks like they're going to over Mike Ditka's Bears. If we win and the weather's bad here in the East, they're going to go to Phoenix during the week before they face the 49ers. Tillman, right side, a gain of 4.
I bet they don't go to Phoenix. I know Bill Parcells. The last time they went to Phoenix, they had a disaster out there in L.A. I think, and he likes it here. He's going to stay here. Here's a guy who has to wear the same clothes. You know, he has a pair of pants that the zipper doesn't work, and that's why he has that big old coat, you know, so you can't see. But he has to wear those pants with a broken zipper all the time.
Those are superstitious pants.
I know it. Well, I mean, he has more superstitions than all the other coaches in this league put together. He has more.
His office, for example, is full of elephants. Loves elephants. They're winning elephants.
I'll tell you, he has done a heck of a job in the years that he's been here.
That's Tillman. And about the 10 or 11, a pickup of 5. Tough loss for Mike Ditka and the Bears. They just, as John Madden said, took a physical beating. Although they beat New Orleans last week, you could tell at the end of the game, almost after every play, somebody left.
Well, that's what I thought. I thought, you know, were they going to be able to get it up and come in here again? And we talk about Bill Parcells has done an excellent job. Mike Ditka has done an excellent job of, you know, recovering from last year and bringing this Bear team back to the year that they have.
3rd and 1. A handoff to Tillman, and he's got a first down. Ron Cox made the stop, and we'll have the 2-minute warning at Giants Stadium with the Giants leading the Bears 24-3.
If all dogs were overweight, the only dog food we'd make would be fit and trim. But dogs are different. That's why Purina makes a complete line of nutritious dog foods. Pet tested, veterinarian recommended.
Why does a man have to do what a man has to do? Refreshing proof that men still know what they're doing.
The evolution of the minivan is now complete.
Now get cashback savings with Plymouth's Golden Advantage. If every dog were the active type, the only dog food we'd make would be High Pro. But dogs are different. That's why Purina makes a complete line of nutritious dog foods. Pet tested, veterinarian recommended.
CBS sports coverage of the National Football Conference divisional playoff game is sponsored by Chrysler, where luxury is engineered to give you the advantage. Purina, makers of a complete line of new nutritious dog foods. Purina, pet-tested, veterinarian recommended. And by Gillette Atra Plus system and Gillette Foamy, together the best a man can get.
One of the gentlemen we hope to be talking to on the NFL Today, the post-game show, when this is over. Dan Hampton, along with Bill Parcells, Jeff Hostetler, we hope. Matt Millen is standing by on the West Coast. It's Carthon to the 5. Matt Millen, of course, had a great year with the 49ers.
Matt Millen is one guy who will understand what the word slobber knocker means.
Timeout. Bears.
Who guarantees overnight air delivery before 10:30 to more businesses than anyone else in the business? Who did you think?
The Chrysler New Yorker 5th Avenue is engineered with ABS brakes, so you're safer when you drive. Our hands-free visor phone means you're safer making a call. Our remote entry system means you're safer at night. And our standard driver's airbag means you're even safer in an accident. Chrysler safety, because the most important thing that goes into our cars is you.
Now get cashback savings with Chrysler's Golden Advantage.
Who guarantees overnight air delivery before 10:30 to the most places across the country? Who did you think?
Brian O'Neill is taking on Big George Foreman. But his toughest opponent is Farrah Fawcett.
This is round one.
Good Sports, Thursday. Emmy winner Tommy Lee Jones is Woodrow Call.
I hate rude behavior in a man. Won't tolerate it.
His word was law.
Why not go up to Montana?
But his strict code belies a hidden torment.
Now, he's the only son you'll ever have.
I don't know that he is my son.
Relive his story on Lonesome Dove next Sunday.
The last win for the Giants over the Bears, October the 5th, 1969. Bill Parcells was an assistant coach at West Point. Bobby Knight was the basketball coach. Rodney Hampton was 6 months old. Richard Nixon was the president. Dan Hampton. Back in the game, he wants to finish his career on the field. Carthon hammers over the left side, stopped by Ryan.
Yeah, I think it's fitting that Dan Hampton went back in and made the tackle on that play. He was on the sideline, and he didn't want to finish his career standing on the sideline. You know, if they're going to be in there, he wanted to go in and play it. If this is going to be his last game, he wants to go out playing.
Well, it's been a wonderful career. An All-American at Arkansas. He's got a ranch down in Cabot, Arkansas. Wants to get into the broadcasting business. He would do well. Carthon. Straight ahead. Stopped by Hampton and others.
Yeah, if he keeps playing like this, I think he's going to want another year. I mean, he's got down there in the goal line, and he's stuffed too. We saw him there, watch him, 99. He's just standing that whole side straight up. There's just 99. They just run right into him. There's nothing there.
Think about 10 knee operations for Dan Hampton. There's a guy. Boy, what credit he deserves. Otis Anderson. And the guy next to him, Bill Parcells. Hampton, 10 knee operations. I don't know how many broken fingers, one broken leg, one leg shorter than the other. Carthon straight ahead. Touchdown. From A yard out. Maurice Carthon, the blocker. I think Bill Parcells just took a bath.
Yeah, he did. They went back to the old bucket again, and then he got the headbutt from Pepper. They got all kinds of things going there in the sideline.
That Gatorade took care of the hairdo.
Yep, there it is.
It's a new kind of moose.
But he's still looking up. See O.J. Anderson run off. He has one ball. Maurice Carthon has the other ball. Carthon doesn't get a lot of these. In fact, I don't know if he has that one. They're reviewing that one. Did the ball break the plane? I know the guy who was making the big argument there was Dan Hampton. He didn't want to go out in his last play where they scored against him. Watch it here. Does the ball break the plane? Yep, it sure does.
Yep.
From that angle there, you can see that it broke the plane.
And that's what has to happen for it to be called a touchdown. The ball is the key thing.
Now the Giants are lined up there with their
After further
extra point
review,
team.
play stands is called touchdown.
Then you get another celebration. That's a good thing about this instant replay. You get a whole bunch of celebrate. You celebrate when you do it. Then you celebrate when they say, hey, what you just did really did happen.
I still don't think Mike Ditka likes it. No matter how many celebrations you get. The extra point by far is good. 31-3.
A good car, the Honda Accord, no doubt about it. But this Plymouth Acclaim has more interior room, a larger engine, a longer powertrain warranty. It carries more people, has an airbag, and it costs $1,500 less than Accord. Now, we're not saying that the Accord is second rate, merely second best.
Now get cashback savings with Plymouth's Golden Advantage.
From Gillette comes Sensor, the only razor that can sense and adjust to the individual needs of your face.
The best a man can get.
Sensor blades are mounted on responsive springs to continuously sense and individually adjust to your face. The closest, safest, most comfortable. Gillette Sensor, together with the richness of foamy shave cream, for the best shave a man can get.
Gillette, the best a man can get.
The network. It's the most powerful tool in business today. At GTE, we can put that power in your hands. The power of a personalized communications network designed for the success of your business alone. The growth of your business, the prosperity of your business. We've done it for others. We'll do it for you. Because at GTE, the power is on.
Next Sunday, the NFC Championship on CBS Sports beginning at 3:30 Eastern. It'll be a rematch between these Giants and the 49ers. And those Niners played the Giants in the most eagerly awaited game of the season earlier this year on Monday night. The game was physical, as Ronnie Lott demonstrated on Mark Bavaro, as the game's only touchdown was scored by John Taylor. That's next Sunday, starting with the NFL Today at 3:30 Eastern on CBS. Barr's kickoff is a bouncer. And stay with us. Again, a reminder. The Bears.
The old Cal Stanford play. Where's the band?
She wrote. Tillman made the stop. The Giants and the 49ers here on CBS next week at Candlestick. Jeff Hostetler, who had a great day. A disappointing last game for that man, Dan Hampton. Bill Parcells, who came up with such a magnificent way to play against Mike Ditka's Bears.
He also made some gutsy calls, those fourth down calls that, you know, after you win 31-3, they look like they were nothing, but boy, at the time, were those big calls that Bill Parcells had to make.
As that celebration continues.
Bill Parcells said during the week, he said, Dan Hampton could always play for me. I wish he would have played for me.
There are a lot of coaches who wish that.
And I would be one of those. Mark Collins looks like he's okay. Remember, he was injured. They took him off in a golf cart. He's given that okay signal that that ankle is okay, and he'll be all right for the 49ers next week.
He had his trumpet with him on the cart.
And they're talking already about going back to San Francisco.
Well, it's a slobber knocker when they're against each other, and after it's over, they forget all about it. That's Wellington Mara, president of the Giants, standing at the door to the locker room.
Hey, baby. Hey, that four-man line of the Giants got him. Jeff Hostetler, here's his running, and the total dominance of both lines.
Stay tuned for the NFL Today postgame show. Greg and Terry with Pat and Leslie taking you inside the locker rooms. Once again, the final score here at Giants Stadium, the Giants 31, the Bears 3. You've been watching CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League.
Water with your boss, you were in warm water, the Caribbean, and swimming toward you was a beautiful fish. No, it was a woman, and yes, she had beer, Keystone. The premium cold-filtered beer in a can that tastes like beer in a bottle because of Keystone's specialty line can. And wouldn't it be great if you told your boss to take that job and sure, I'll have another. Keystone and Keystone Light, bottled beer taste in a can. Wouldn't that be great?
Who guarantees overnight air delivery before 10:30 to the most people coast to coast? Who did you think?
In time, all definitions must be revised. But when it came to redefining luxury, it wasn't a Webster, it was Oldsmobile, the all-new 98. Now you can have anti-lock brakes, fuel-efficient power, computerized suspension, technology found in cars costing thousands more, which by my definition could be the greatest luxury of all. And you can always take a Webster at his word.
This is the new 98. Luxury redefined. Generation of Olds.
The airline that brings you 10 countries across Asia and the Pacific now bridges the Atlantic to Europe. Come fly the airline that spans more than half the world. United. Come fly the friendly skies.
Stop the presses! St. John's, rank 10. Redmen, red hot. Yukon, rank 9. Whoa, boy! It's Big Eat, Big Bash, Big Fun today!
Back at the Meadowlands, Giants Stadium, the New York Giants have registered a convincing 31-3 victory over the Chicago Bears and win themselves a rematch with the San Francisco 49ers. Game played earlier this year, certainly for home field advantage, perhaps for pride. It'll now be for the NFC Championship. That'll be next Sunday, and we remind you that we all will be there in San Francisco. The NFL Today begins at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and then it'll be the San Francisco 49ers and the New York Giants. As for this game today, as the fans around us yell, "We want Joe," well, they'll get him. Yes, they will. It certainly is an interesting New York Giants team that came out here today, more than just the run-oriented offense that we expected.
Well, if you go back to what Hostetler told us, he said, "I just want Parcells to trust me, you know, have faith in me, and don't tie my hands in this offense. Let's just don't run the football." And I think Ron Earhart, who I saw in the hall running out here, he said, "I heard what you said. I heard what you said." But they came out and they mixed it up. They mixed it up and threw the football, got the big plays, and they did. They turned this game into Hostetler's hands, and he performed a beautiful job. And remember, this guy, hey, this guy has not played in a postseason game before, and today did a fabulous job.
Now, despite the 13-3 record the Giants posted during the regular season, down the stretch, they came under some criticism locally for being a very, very staid offense. But Jeff Hostetler didn't show that today.
No, he threw the ball well. You know, I think one of the new dimensions, and I emphasize new dimensions with Hostetler at quarterback, would be this, Greg, is that not only did he prove to me today, and I think probably to a lot of fans, that he could throw the football, but the thing also is the other dimension is the play action. I mean, so he circles, he play action, he throws it. He'll look this way to find the ball and to throw the football. He gets pressure, and then he scrambles, moves up, and then finally gets into the end zone. This is a dimension that I'm sure that George Seibert and the 49ers are concerned about. Notice, plenty of time, everyone's covered. He sees a gap, he gets outside, he finds a man, he says, whoop, cuts back inside and scrambles for the touchdown. So it's the ability for him to avoid the rush that will cause problems. If there are problems to be caused by this offense for the 49ers, I think it's his ability to run with the football.
Let's talk a little bit about Mike Tomczak, the Chicago Bear quarterback who filled in for injured Jim Harbaugh. We talked about his confidence level. He threw the ball very well today and was the victim of some drop balls.
Well, third down conversions really were the thing that killed him. He said also, you know, he thought that today that for them, they had to be able to convert third down 50%. At least they were unable to do that. But early in the game, the Collins interception off of the deflected pass, which was perfectly thrown. I thought he threw the ball well. He never seemed to get rattled, which is a very good clue as to whether or not this guy has the ability to play in a big game. Never got rattled. Threw the ball extremely well, but too much Giant defense. When you convert only 1 of 5 fourth down tries, then you're desperate on offense and you don't get it done. Then you got to look on the other side and say, hey, these Giants played a whale of a defensive game today.
They did. 31-3 was the final score, and the Giants win themselves a trip to San Francisco next Sunday afternoon. When we come back, you will hear from members of the victorious New York Giants, 31-3 over the Bears.
Well, this doesn't look very interesting. I mean, I thought you'd have me try something a little fancier, maybe with nuts and fruit cocktail. These are nothing but flakes. It isn't at all what I expected. I like it. Oh, I get it. It's a whole new kind of cereal. Simple and back to basics, right? I like it.
Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
Corn Flakes?
Taste them again for the first time.
Who's got the marketing plan? I do. Sales forecast?
Right here.
Presentation board?
Murphy's got it.
Where's Murphy?
The final boarding call for Delta Flight 6.
Maddie Klein knows careers are riding on Delta flights.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes. Better go.
Nobody told me you had a cast.
Nobody knew.
Passengers should now be on board.
Maybe that's why more business people fly Delta than ever before.
Mr. Murphy, you have a nice trip.
Thanks. Already had one.
My grandfather loves the unknown. I want a sure thing. I drive a new kind of Oldsmobile, the all-new Bravada, perfect for this jungle because it's got Smart Trap, a new anti-lock braking and all-wheel drive system that automatically sends power to the wheel that needs it. So I'm ready for the unexpected, whether I'm traveling across the river and into the trees,
This is the new generation.
Or just visiting your old man in the sea.
Bravada, engineered for the unexpected.
Is Saddam Hussein ready to retaliate with terrorist attacks in the United States and Europe? No doubt about it, say intelligence experts. 60 Minutes, tonight.
That's a look at the Meadowlands as 76,000 fans have filed out of Giant Stadium following the Giants' 31-3 victory over the Chicago Bears. Right now, let's join Pat O'Brien, who's with Bears coach Mike Ditka. Pat?
All right, Greg, thank you, Coach. I know it's not the interview you wanted to do. What happened today?
Well, we got beat by a better football team today. They made the plays, and we didn't. And I got to congratulate the Giants and, of course, Bill for the great coaching job he's done. And I think they came out and did the things they had to do to win a football game. You got to give them all the credit in the world, Pat. I mean, you never anticipate it's going to go that way, but it goes that way. And as I said earlier in the game, we had some chances to put the ball in the end zone and put some pressure on them, but we just never had the ability to do that. So It's disappointing, but yet the season isn't disappointing to me. It's been a very rewarding season for this organization. We've played hard and we've tried to do the right things, and we got here as far as we probably deserve to go because of the way we're not as good as the Giants are right now. And I said that early in the year, so I thought we could do some things today, but I got to give them a lot of credit. They took some basic things away from us, and then they made the plays. Hostetler was outstanding, and usually that kind of a quarterback gives us more problems than anybody else. He has a great ability to run with the football. I don't know that there have been too many other quarterbacks that are really playing that would have given us that much of a problem, Pat.
What about your situation? Will you be back next year?
Well, I hope so. I don't see why not. I mean, I would love the challenge of maybe even coming back to here and playing again. You know, you never know. But, I learned a long time ago when you have two teams play like this, one's a teacher, one's a student. We were the student today. Hopefully we learn well from this lesson.
So we may not be saying goodbye to you, but we are saying goodbye to Dan Hampton. Any thoughts on his final game and on him?
Well, Dan is, I think he's epitomized what this organization has tried to put on the field. People who play hard and give it everything he has. He's a great example for young people. He's played the game the way it's supposed to be played, and I'm proud of him. I'm proud of the year he had this year, contrary to some other people. I'm glad he came back, and I'm glad he played such an important part for this football team. He's been a great leader for us and a great example for our young people. And besides that, he's played good football. He's been a coach's delight. I've had a lot of fun being associated with Dan, and maybe one of these days him and I can go out and have a nice 7-Up together.
Congratulations on a great season, Coach. Thank you. Let's go now over to Leslie Visser. V.
Thanks, Pat. Over here with Coach Bill Parcells. Bill, who says the Giants are conservative? You turned into a mad scientist these last 2 weeks.
Well, I think when you get in the playoffs, you have to try anything you can to give your team some impetus. So we mixed it up pretty well. I was really pleased with Hostetler, and I think he did really a good job executing what we were trying to do. So I have to be happy and look forward to playing next week.
What were the deciding factors, you think, in this game?
Well, I think we were able to control the ball fairly well and got our running game going a little bit in the second quarter. And our defense was close to making, big plays throughout the first period. It just didn't, go that way. But at that goal line stand gave us a little impetus, and then we got an interception in the second half, so that helps.
Well, you're 60 minutes from Tampa Bay, but you have to go through San Francisco. What are your thoughts this time around?
Well, my thoughts are generally these. We know it's going to be a tough opponent. We've been out there once before this year, and they beat us, and I'm just looking forward to having the opportunity to play, and I'm sure they are, and we'll do our best.
I think a lot of other people are, too. Thank you, Bill. Let's go over back to Pat O'Brien.
All right, Leslie, and of course, as all of you know, football is losing a great one to retirement this year, Dan Hampton. And Dan, first of all, your thoughts on today's game. What happened?
Well, unfortunately, when we got the ball down in close on offense, we didn't convert it into 7 points, and, that's tough, but defensively, we played pretty well except on fourth down. Usually third down is a telltale down in football, and today was fourth. I think every time they got in fourth and yards or 6 or 8 or 1 yard, they converted it and kept the drive alive. And you got to take your hat off to them. Their backs ran hard. Their linemen did what they had to do, and that little quarterback, he's a little rabbit. He got outside on us a couple times and really hurt us.
On your 12-year career, I know it's hard to reflect on all of it. Do you have a singular reflection you can give us?
No, it's all been great. A lot of wins, a lot of great times, a lot of great games. But it's like one of the great Walt Disney movies that ends in a train wreck. I didn't want it to end like this, but unfortunately things happen like that. But if this is the worst thing that'll ever happen to me, I'll be okay.
Dan, you had a hell of a run.
I did too. I enjoyed it, and I appreciate the Bears for giving me the opportunity.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Greg and Terry.
All right, Pat, we had our congratulations to Dan Hampton, too, on a great, great career. Mike Ditka, it is said, in the Chicago area, may have done his finest coaching job this year. The Bears got out of the blocks at 7-1 and then stumbled home at 4-4 the second half of the season. They still did have a rough time, though.
Well, they had a rough time, but I think Ditka had a new quarterback in Harbaugh taking over the reins this year. He did a fine job. He was injured. In comes Tom Zach, and he had to struggle and and I think it was a transition in defense. Hampton out, new players coming in. I think Mike Ditka said it right. He has every right in the world to feel proud of the job he did, and of course of his young football team.
31-3, Giants over the Chicago Bears. Will take time out here, and then the NFL Today post-game show will continue from Giants Stadium in just a moment.
Once a year, the automotive world holds its breath awaiting the announcement of its most prestigious award. From all the new models to choose from, only one car dominated the competition in rigorous tests to earn the 1991 Motor Trend Car of the Year award. The Chevrolet Caprice Classic. It's simply breathtaking.
It's called Drixoral, a powerful 12-hour cold medicine that at one time you couldn't buy without a prescription. Today, you can. 12-hour prescription-strength Drixoral. It works just as hard against colds as it always did, to relieve the misery of congestion, sneezing, and runny nose. For 12 full hours of prescription-strength relief, Drixoral is all you need to know.
For years, you've depended on State Farm to insure your car. But did you know you can also depend on us to protect your family's future? State Farm. We sell life insurance. For years, you've depended on State Farm to insure your home. But did you know you can also depend on us to provide financial security for those you love? State Farm. We sell life insurance.
Robert Duvall is back in his finest role.
You're the kind of man that's a pleasure to hang.
Relive his epic adventure on Lonesome Dove, Sunday, January 20th.
The New York Giants join the final round of 4 with their 31-3 victory over the Bears today. Let's go back to Leslie Visser with the Giants in their locker room. Leslie.
Thanks, Greg. I'm here with a couple of victorious Giants, Jeff Hostetler and Lawrence Taylor. Jeff, to you first. You look like the second coming of Fran Tarkenton today. Why were you able, or the offense was able to be so successful?
Well, we worked hard the last couple of weeks, and you know, we just try to keep them off balance, try to throw the ball on first down, and just try to mix it up, and we were able to do that throughout the game, and things went pretty well for us offensively, and then our defense just kicked in and didn't let them do anything.
We want you to take us through a play here. This is the first, I believe, the first quarter touchdown to Baker. Can you just explain what happened?
Yeah, they jumped into a man coverage, and Baker was one-on-one, and we tried to flood that side of the field, and Bakes just beat him.
Make it look easy. LT, I think the Bears had only something like 27 yards rushing. Why was the defense so successful?
Well, you know, we started on Tuesday. We implemented a new defense, and we had a great week of preparation, great week of hard work, and we thought that there was no way they were going to run the ball on us.
You'd like to get back to the Super Bowl, but of course you have to face the 49ers again. What are your thoughts on return engagement there?
Well, I'm quite sure they got to be a little bit worried because just like, you know, a bad penny, we're coming back. You know, we're going to show up again, and we plan on playing a little bit harder, stay a little bit longer, and a little bit stronger, and walk away with victory.
They'll be waiting for you. Let's go back to Greg and Terry.
All right, Leslie, 2 important prime players in the rematch next week as the Giants move on to San Francisco. We'll take a timeout, and Terry and I will continue with the postgame show from Giant Stadium in just a moment.
Chevy's got this truck, S10EL. More mileage than the leading import for less money. I said that's more for less. I told Chevy if you tell everybody about it on television, everybody's going to want to do it. The imports will see it. They'll say, hey, we want to do that too. Chevy will say, nope, can't. More for less. That's ours. Then the government will say, maybe we could give the people more for... Nah, more for less. What a concept. There. I told everybody, and I feel much better about it.
Before they could walk, they wanted to dance. Before they could talk, they wanted to sing. But they needed a lot of heart and desire before they could get to Broadway and make it on a chorus line. Now this Broadway legend is back and on tour. But if you want tickets, get to the box office early and get out your Visa card. Because this show won't be in town long, and it won't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Being a fan, nothing beats the sound of cheers. Nothing beats clean, crisp, and cold. Nothing beats the king of beers. Yeah, nothing beats a bud. Yeah, nothing beats a bud. Nothing beats a Budweiser. Ice cold Budweiser. Nothing beats a bud.
murder brought them together.
This is my command.
Now she's caught in the middle.
What are you so afraid of?
Sean Connery, Meg Ryan, Mark Harmon, The Presidio, Tuesday.
The aerial view of Giant Stadium here in East Rutherford, New Jersey, after the Giants demolished the Chicago Bears by a score of 31-3. Welcome back, everyone. Greg Gumbel along with Terry Bradshaw. With their victory today, the Giants win themselves a rematch with the San Francisco 49ers, who defeated the Washington Redskins yesterday. And joining us now from San Francisco is 49ers linebacker Matt Millen. And Matt, first of all, your thoughts on what the New York Giants did here this afternoon.
Well, I think they did two things really well. First of all, Hostetler had a big day. And the second thing was they gave him the 8-man front early and dared him to throw, and Chicago couldn't throw the ball.
Matt, yesterday in its football game, you played a quarterback in Ripon that basically was a guy that was going to throw the football. But this coming Sunday, you're going to play a quarterback, as you saw today, that has the ability to scramble and run around with a football. And I know that has to present some types of problems for you.
Well, it certainly presents problems. Anytime you can get a guy who blows the horn like that. I don't know if you heard that. Anytime you can get a quarterback who can run and move, it's going to, put a lot of pressure on your coverage. But we'll just have to play a straight, basic game, and we'll be all right.
Matt, thanks very much for joining us, and we'll see you out there next Sunday, okay? Matt Millen,
all right,
of the
Terry,
San Francisco
enjoy the
49ers.
cold.
Thank you very much. Right now, for some further thoughts on what's happened here today and maybe what's to come next week, let's go back upstairs to Pat and John, guys.
It was the most eagerly awaited game of the season, and it lived up to its billing. Early in the game, the ball kept bouncing New York's way. O.J. Anderson gaining big yards after the Sims fumble. And then a completion to Stephen Baker after a ball bounced off the hands of Rodney Hampton. But the Giants could not get into the end zone. The game was physical. This Ronnie Lott hit on Mark Bavaro will be talked about for years to come. John Taylor beat Mark Collins for the only touchdown of the game, as the Giant defense was stingy as well. The game went down to the wire, and trailing 7-3 with 4 minutes left, Bill Parcells elected to go for it on 4th down. The pass was broken up, and San Francisco won it 7-3. And John Madden is here with me, but he won't be long because John will be headed west right after the game. And the game, of course, is over, and John will be leaving in a few minutes. What are your thoughts? The Giants look so good today, particularly on defense, and the 49ers always play good defense.
Well, that's the thing, I think. I think today the Giants came in and did what they had to do. They controlled the line of scrimmage. It was a run-type thing. They had to stop the run. They had to stop Neil Anderson. They had to stop Brad Muster. They did it. I mean, they didn't even give the Bears a first down running the whole game. But next week, their work is cut out for them, because that's a totally different thing. They don't maybe not have to worry about the run too much, but I'll tell you, they have to play against the greatest passer who's ever played the game.
Well, it'll be a study in contrast at quarterback, but the game should be very, very interesting. Now let's go back to Greg Gumbel.
All right, Pat, and we'll see you and John out there next week as well. 31-3, Giants over the Bears. We'll take time out and continue on the post-game show in just a moment.
In weather this raw, don't take chances, take chapstick. This infrared camera compares lips sealed with chapstick and lips without chapstick. Chapstick seals in moisture to heal and prevent chapped lips. Don't take chances, take chapstick.
To those import owners who said they would drive an American luxury car when they make one good enough, here's one that's much, much more than good enough. Test drive the 1991 Buick Park Avenue and see how good the great American beauty truly is. Park Avenue from Buick, the new symbol for quality in America and beyond.
As beneficial as self-examination is, Mary Brody won't feel the tiny lump in her breast for another 2 years. But she'll discover it tomorrow, after her first mammogram, thanks in part to a new X-ray film created by DuPont that makes it safer to start mammography early. And for Mary, early detection means a 2-year head start on the rest of her life. At DuPont, we make the things that make a difference.
The Adenorex side really feels like it's doing a lot more than the Head and Shoulders side. It feels real cool and tingly over here.
Both have a dandruff ingredient,
But Denerex adds an extra anti-itch medicine you can feel working.
The tingle told me that Denerex was doing more for my hair.
Monday,
Everybody, get out!
It's performance art!
Eldon, a millionaire artist,
Do you realize what this means?
Yeah, it's going to take all the fun out of playing lotto.
on Murphy Brown.
The Giants 31 and the Bears 3. Want to remind you, tonight on CBS, tune in for the CBS News Magazine 60 Minutes, followed by the CBS Sunday movie Witness, and then Designing Women. And we'll all see you 1 week from now at Candlestick Park, where the San Francisco 49ers will host the Giants in the NFC Championship. Our coverage begins with the NFL today at 3:30 Eastern Time. Right now, stay tuned for NCAA basketball. The road to the Final Four continues. St. John's at Connecticut. For all of us at CBS Sports, I'm Greg Gumbel. So long from Giant Stadium.
Ryan O'Neal is taking on Big Jim Brown.
But don't let your mouth get your teeth in trouble, brother.
But his toughest opponent is Farrah Fawcett.
This is round one.
Good Sports Thursday.